Boom. 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 Boom.
Hello and welcome back to the Pop Tab Podcast, the podcast that's as sweet as soda for breakfast. I am one of your hosts, Brent Kruscke, the upholder of the unpopular opinion, and joining me today, as always, is the ghost host, Jacob Stokes.
Boo!
The Pop Tab Podcast is filmed in front of a live Twitch audience. If you want to be part of that audience, head on over to twitch.tv/realpixel and you can be part of the conversation. If you want to keep up to date with us, the best place to do that is patreon.com/realpixel. It's free, doesn't cost anything. It's just the best way for us to all stay connected together and get all the updates to you as quickly and as easily as possible. So do that if you're interested. We're going to start the show as we always do with a little bit of housekeeping, and our housekeeping usually always starts with what we're going to be playing for the rest of the week for stream. So a little bit of a messy week. I'm still in the middle of a messy week with editing for the day job, but I've got essentially what we're going to be doing.
Never called it that.
I don't know how to refer to it.
Is.
Otherwise,
It is.
It's the day job. So Thursday, luckily, because of our good friend James, me, Stokes, and James will all be playing the new Warhammer Space Marine 2. Very excited to get into it. You've played the intro mission. James played the intro mission. I'm going to do that, I think, tonight. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know.
Yeah. Correcting previous shows that we probably said it, not on Game Pass.
Not on Game Pass.
We
That's
had
correct.
fully planned to pay
failed.
$0. I succeeded, and Brent succeeded.
Yes.
James failed miserably at paying only $0.
Yes. I was completely wrong on that. I don't know how I messed that up so bad that it is not on Game Pass. What was the other thing I got wrong?
Oh, we'll get into that.
Oh, okay. But so it's not on Game Pass if we had said it before. Apologies, but we do have it. We're going to play it on Thursday. It's very exciting. I'm pretty hyped for the game. I'm also, unlike maybe some people that are like $60 for a 9 to 12 hour experience for the campaign, that gets me more excited. I don't want a campaign that's 80 hours or whatever for a game, especially like
It's got nothing to do with the dollar sign for me on that part.
No.
It's 9 to 12 hours is the only exciting part of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, $60, I would say, like, if I'm just saying I want time to money, I would want more than that.
Mm-hmm.
And they offer more than that. But
Yeah, there is more
I'm
to the
only
game.
going to do the 9 to 12 campaign.
Right. All right. And then Friday, I'm going to do it. It's going to happen. I'm starting Uncharted 4.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, I thought it went down. Dang it. I thought it went dun dun.
Oh,
My bad.
that's okay.
That's exciting.
It's been a while since you played.
It has been a while. I'm excited to get into it. I'm excited just to finally have this game in my mind. It's been on a pedestal, not a pedestal, like it's got to be amazing for it to be great, but it's been waiting for me for so long. I'm excited to finally get into it.
I think it's got the same evolution Last of Us 1 to 2 has and in function and play that you're going to like. The difference is that the story just fucking rocks.
All right.
And it doesn't have some people may like it, some people won't. It's 3 acts, but really it's 2 long acts and then an epilogue.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the game is just it's like Uncharted 4 best story, Uncharted the movie next.
Okay.
And then it's just like it's just fun craziness.
That's awesome.
But it's like directly themed after something you love
yeah.
and a reality of something you loved.
Mm-hmm. So also, I looked at it. It took me, so the whole game of Last of Us 2, the epilogue, what I said was like an epilogue where you're like, yeah, it's the third act. It was 2 hours out of my entire playthrough was that part. That's why it felt like an epilogue, because it was so fast.
Yeah.
And maybe I played it faster because once I failed at stealthing in that house at the end or whatever, I was like, no, I'm going to start gunning. Yeah, exactly. I was like, I'm gunning through this.
I did the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can stealth it.
Right? It's so hard. I tried setting all the clickers and all the things free because I thought it would be really fun, but damn.
Nate likes Uncharted for the fact that Nathan Drake has the same name as him.
Hey, that's fair.
Nate Drake's cool, man.
Did you see the movie? I really like the movie. I know a lot of people hate on the movie.
Well,
I love that movie.
People hate on the movie because it's the dumb silly. It's the Fast and Furious effect.
Yeah.
Right, where you're like, yeah, but you just take that 1 degree back and it's just a blast.
I think there's a couple franchises in my mind. Fast and Furious is one of them. I've paid the price of admission at this point. They can take me anywhere. I'm on the ride. It doesn't matter. If the next Fast and Furious movie,
You're just in the passenger seat.
if they're fighting aliens, I'm not blinking an eye. I'm like, yeah, this makes sense. I'm here for it. That totally tracks. Saturday's
Dominic Toretto's uncle is an alien.
Yeah, right. The whole time the Torettos have been from a different planet.
Yeah.
That's why they've always
when the Torettos
survived.
crash landed.
Exactly.
And that's when they play the like insane feats of strength, and they're like, this is why he can do it.
You've always questioned it. There's always been a reason. We've been building to this moment from day one.
This isn't retconning.
This is why they stole those VHS DVD combo packs.
Yep.
They didn't understand. Saturday's a little bit of a TBD. Got a wedding to go to. I forgot to check the time before I went to make the schedule, so I might be able to fit in a stream around it. Depends on when it's happening. So I will keep you up to date. Check on patreon.com. It's free. I'll keep you up to date. I'll let you know. And then Sunday, it'll probably be later at night, probably around 6, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But hopefully, knock on wood, Bethany is feeling better because this was originally playing last week. Bethany, Emily, Alec, and I will all be playing Legend of Zelda 4 Swords on Switch. Four Swords on Switch. Because they have it on there on the virtual console, and it's multiplayer.
Emulation.
And I've never played that one. I never touched that one, so it'll be a brand new Zelda game for all of us, and it's a really quick beat, so we should be able to do it in a night. It's like 4 or 5 hours.
Easy peasy.
Yep. So that's what we're doing for the streams of the week. And then what have we been watching and playing? Getting into the letterbox, as we always do. I was driving home, I think it was yesterday. And I got a notification from Letterboxd. I'm like, what the heck is this?
You did?
James followed me.
Oh,
and I was just like, why did I get a... And I saw it, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. But
yeah, James was asking for your...
I never had a notification.
He didn't know how to
from
add
Letterboxd.
people, so
yeah,
we got it.
All right. What do you have? I got actually very few things.
You go first.
Okay, so the first thing I have is Influencer. I talked to you about it.
Yeah.
I went on to Shudder because I usually sign up for Shudder for like September, October, and I didn't know if I wanted to pull the trigger quite yet. I didn't have a list of movies. There's other movies, other places I want to watch. So I'm like, how fast do I want to jump into Shudder this year? But there was a movie on like the screen that's like sign up, sign in, and it said Influencer, and I was like, oh, what's this about? Let me click it to get info on it or a trailer or something, and it just started playing the movie, and I was like, oh, I guess maybe this is just like the trailer just shows like the first 3 minutes or something. They don't have a trailer, and it just played the whole movie, and I ended up sitting and watching the whole movie. So I went in 1,000,000% blind because I didn't even think I was watching a movie when I clicked on it. That's it. Downloading Letterboxd. You guys are some A tier letter of advertisers. Look at that. Letterboxd, give us our cut. Sponsor this podcast.
It's free. Our cut. I guess he might give them pennies and ad money.
Yeah, see?
Sure, I'll take a penny.
But Influencer, I enjoyed it. I again had no idea going into it. There was a point in the movie where I'm like, if it's going to be this, I don't really want to watch it. And then it kind of took a turn. I went, okay, I'm still on board, but still on the edge. By the end of it, I was like, no, that was good. I'm glad I sat through it. I'm glad I didn't give up on it. So
that's good.
Yep.
That's good. Haven't seen that one yet, so
yeah.
I got no words to it.
Do you want to go back and forth, or you want to do... I've got 2 more. That's
we can do back and forth. I watched nothing.
Okay.
Your turn. I literally didn't watch a movie this week.
That's funny. Okay.
Yeah.
I watched Rebel Ridge. We watched the trailer for it. It came out on Netflix. I was like, I got to watch it. Go ahead.
Rebel Ridge.
Yep. From the director of Green Room.
Oh. Yeah, no, it's not coming to me.
It's the First Blood, but it's a black guy who gets hit by a cop on a bike.
Yeah,
that movie came out.
That's right.
So I watched it. It is so. If you are
Which I remember being like, oh man, that movie's not going to be as fun as I thought.
I swear my phone's autocorrect actively hates me. He's a goddamn liar. Who's the liar?
I'm a liar?
Did you watch something? Does Hokie know you watched something?
I don't think so.
Or is he yelling at Nate about autocorrect?
I don't think he's yelling at Nate.
Either way.
What did I watch?
Rebel Ridge is very good.
I didn't go to Beetlejuice.
Do not watch the trailer because it sells it as a I'm in the walls. It sells...
He's where? He's in my walls?
Oh my God.
I swear to God. I mean, God, did I watch a movie this week?
You're like trying
Cody,
to...
why are you doing this to me, dude?
Rebel Ridge, the trailer. Remember we watched the trailer and there was a couple moments where we're like, whoa, this is from the guy from Green Room. This is going to be really gory, really brutal.
Yeah.
It is not. Do not go into that movie expecting it. Because I got halfway through the movie, I'm like,
when's the Green Room
when's it start?
coming?
Yeah, when's it start? It's not, it is very well done. It's very good. And I thought like the main guy in it was super like good in that role. Everyone knocked out part. I thought it was really enjoyable, but the trailer sold me something that I did not get. So if you're interested in watching it, I definitely think it's worth a watch, but don't watch the trailer and then expect to get more. Because essentially, like, the one gore scene you see in the trailer, that's about it. That's in the whole movie. So it's very different than what I thought going in, but still enjoyable.
Well, that's good. Heart?
I gave it a heart.
Okay.
'Cause I did like it.
Okay.
Again, I think the actors won me over in it because the story is not anything different than I've ever heard before, but the portrayals of all the characters and the way they handled it, I was like, wow, this is really well done.
That's a really interesting thing coming from that director.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, because I was like, it's Green Room and Blue Ruin.
The Ruins?
Is it the Ruins that he did?
No, that's Alexander Aja, I think.
There's a Ruin movie or something, but I felt like he did. Maybe I'm thinking the Ruins.
Yeah, could be.
I guess just the Green Room alone is so visceral.
I'm going to the Ruins.
That I thought he was.
Well, this guy shares the name with you, Nate. Yeah, it's not the Ruins.
Okay,
but
something.
I'll look him up.
Okay.
Anyway, your third movie.
My third movie was a rewatch. I actually put it on to be like just having the background, and it was one of the few times that I put it on. I went, nope, I'm watching this whole thing. I can't look away from it. The Rundown. What a blast!
The Rundown. That movie's fun.
I put it on because
I remember it.
Right? Because I was like, oh, I remember this movie. It's fun. I'm gonna look away and be done with it. But then all of a sudden, I like look away, and it starts like The Rock is trying to like take on these football players in a club because the guy owes the guy money, and it shows the players and it shows their names and their stats. I went like, what? And then it like snap cuts to all these like, oh, football. I went, wow, this is such a snapshot of filmmaking.
It's a very different time. Very different time.
So crazy.
If I watched it, I don't know if I would not be able to double feature it with Walking Tall.
Well,
different tones, but like those movies are sequels, prequels. Yeah. Like they live in the same world.
I watch getting into the end of Rundown. I'm like, this could use an aged sequel. Give me Sean William Scott and The Rock again going after a different treasure.
There's
that
no
would be amazing.
way.
There's no way it happens, but how cool would that be?
I mean, is there a movie where does The Rock ever want to, do a hallucinogenic on screen again?
Right.
He seems so watered down now. Like everything's pretty cutter. They're still fun movies,
but it is
the Rundown's like he's willing to do it.
That is true because there is a part where I think he's like, I forget what it was. Oh, Sean William Scott's giving him shit for whatever, and The Rock has a line where he's like, "Man, you really make me miss the hard-on monkey or the monkey with a hard-on." I went, I don't think The Rock would say that today.
Yeah, no,
I don't think he'd say that.
Nope.
I would still like to see. I think it'd be fun. Also, let Sean William Scott be in a movie again. That would be cool.
I guess it was probably last year by now, but he was the main villain in The Wrath of Becky.
Oh, is that the sequel?
That's the sequel.
I was gonna say I saw the first one. I didn't see.
Oh,
the
you
second.
did?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Wrath of Becky, same actress. It goes campier, farther, further.
Yep.
And they set up there being another one, but Sean William Scott's the main big bad.
Oh, cool.
It was a fun one. I enjoyed that movie a lot. That was a while ago.
I feel like he's one of those actors that did a million things and then got like, what do they call it, like blacklisted. In Hollywood, and then he wasn't in anything.
But I don't think he did anything to get blacklisted, right?
I don't know. Not that I know. No,
I don't know.
It's not like blacklisted like he did something bad, but it's like sometimes the actors will get so big so fast.
That kind of thing.
Where it's like, oh, he did so much so fast. Well, now he's asking for too much. We'll go grab some other goofy dude.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
I can hear that.
But I really enjoyed it. And I also think, because I always think of that video you showed me where the guy's talking about like The Rock has a brand with Ryan Reynolds, or like brands.
Yeah.
And the one thing they always talk about is like The Rock doesn't have like love interests in movies. It's very rare for him to have like sexual chemistry. It's like he's like above that. And in The Rundown, it is very much like that. Like there's what's her face? Oh my God.
Been a long time.
She's in Clerks too.
Oh, Rosario Dawson?
Rosario, thank you. Oh my God, I was like, I know her. She's in it, and she like flirts with both of them, but there's never like any chemistry really between any of the characters. So it's very like neutral. And so I thought it still works in his brand or whatever. I thought it'd be fun, especially because that movie in my head, I was like, oh, it's kind of spiritually very similar to Red Notice from Netflix.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, he kind of did a sequel, but it's with Ryan Reynolds. But I was like, we could get an actual sequel from this series. This feels like right in the run.
But now
the runway.
I thought you were about to say it, dude. Run it back.
Run
back the rundown.
Run back the rundown.
Nate, if you're enlightened by these facts, I have the video that I showed Brent. It's like an hour and a half video about the rise and fall of Hollywood stars and how they're more brand focused now.
Yeah.
I'll send that to you later.
It's interesting. So
again, I watched nothing.
I was just
I would love for Cody to tell me why I'm a liar.
I know,
and
he just
why
kinda
he's
left
in
it
my
hanging.
walls. But I'm like, man, I didn't watch a movie with Cody this week. We were.
I was trying to think.
So we kind of designated Tuesday nights as movie night.
Okay.
Last Tuesday we filmed.
We did film last Tuesday.
Yep, which is atypical. I
Yep.
shot that to the group text, and then obviously busy Wednesday, Thursday, whatever.
And it's been a
Like
week.
delivering people.
Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday. It was all sorts of busy. And then Shay and I were like, cool, we're going to do Beetlejuice. Remember I texted you, hey,
Yeah.
do you want to go Saturday? Because I was trying to time it with you,
Yep.
trying to time it with Nate. Now that Nate's part of our entourage, you don't know that, but
Oh, okay, cool.
Nate's in the entourage. He got his car back.
Congrats.
We haven't seen Beetlejuice yet. I was waiting for everybody because no one's available.
Yeah.
I think probably my mom could have gone, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So I skipped that movie.
Right.
And then we were going to go do a family dinner, which at a time like this, when we're not doing Cornhole or something, we would do a movie. But I said, Ma, you got wedding things to do for next week. Shay and I are exhausted from a crazy week.
It's been
We just
crazy.
want to stay home. And Shay goes, let's watch a movie. And I'm like, yeah, we can. And then she wants to download WoW. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and
I do
and we
remember
want
that.
to
Yeah,
do,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like we end up playing games. We end up doing Minecraft stuff, or she does. And then it was all over. I was like, I was happy to game. And I also reorganized and cleaned. I'm like, I really don't think I watched a movie.
Yeah.
Oh, Nate. You weren't there.
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say.
guess I thought you were, because it was in the group chat that.
I was gonna say we're talking
Shay
about what
brought
we
it
watched
up.
or what we played. How was your experience with WoW?
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, that's World of Warcraft for the people. out there.
of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft.
Yes, not the new expansion, because it was just the level 1 to 10 experience for new players.
Yep.
Oh, I hated it.
Okay.
I mean, nothing new there. Nothing
You don't have to
special.
sugarcoat it. Just tell me how like it is.
Yeah,
You just
I
say
hated
straight.
it. Yep.
All right.
Nate, you have been playing Warframe. I've got info on that. I got things to look at with that. Some fun stuff. But that was the other one. Was I started playing Warframe? Was that this week? I guess we didn't talk about that last week, right?
No, we tried to do it on Thursday.
I think I. Oh yeah, we did. I think I pitched it to you because I had technically like hopped in.
Yep.
But I didn't know anything. I mean, I still don't really know much.
Yeah.
But I was trying to be like, why not Warframe? Because I tried it a little bit and I compared it to First Descendant and stuff. Now that I'm playing a lot more, I can kind of see where the game goes. Like I can see the function of it. And I'm having a blast. It feels very much just like there's a blue tick on the map. Go do that small mission. And unlike First Descendant, where you go to a spot and you have to like go mission to mission, you know, and then it wraps up the thing like as a spot. Each mission is like a load in, load out. But the game loads so fast, it's like it barely registers. You're just back on your ship all of a sudden.
Yeah.
You go, oh, next mission, click 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can play with my ship for 3 seconds and then I'm in the spot killing things again. I like that it's instanced like that everything counts towards that mission. But all the same, I've been having a blast with that.
What I like with
Runs on mobile too. I've been joking how easy it is to run. It can play on anything because it can play on Switch. It runs native on mobile, not streaming it, not anything special. It has touch controls, which
crazy.
I'm not going to use.
Right, yeah.
I have a Steam Deck on the way, and I have a controller that locks into my phone. There's no world I'll ever touch control that game.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy that I'm like, it's an online game, so I need an internet connection, but otherwise it runs local.
Now, I don't know if it does it. What I like about First Descendant is because those missions are so short, they don't really matter. P.S. If the RSVP due date is later than the date we got the invite, did we default to RSVPing?
No, but you're still invited.
I mean, you really should keep up on that, Hokey. I'm just saying. You're gonna have to take
Although-
Yale on this one. That's all I'm saying.
She is well aware that invites delivered late because
I made it in on time.
She was asking people direct eventually, like, "Hey, are you going to come?" And they're like, "Yeah." Like, how was I supposed to know when? Whatever. And she's like, "Oh, you didn't get the invite." And turns out, just like the batch of invites just went into the fucking ether. People ended up getting them, but they just came so late. So
First Descendant, when you go into those missions, if you're in your instance or whatever, and you go to do it, and someone's already doing it, you'll just teleport to where they're at, which is awesome.
that is awesome.
So, especially if I'm like running the same mission to get a drop.
It's weird where I'm just like, I guess I don't have to run this. I mean, granted, those missions and Warframe missions are meant to be like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And they're meant to be replayed like over and over again to be you're grinding for resources. So jumping in halfway is not like, oh, the mission's spoiled, I didn't get to play. It is kind of like, whew, this 2-minute mission's now 1 minute. I'll take that.
I also like that, say, it's like there's like, we start here, spawn here, spawn here, spawn here, and you have to kill these 3 spawn areas. If someone's in the 3rd spawn area or just running through and the spawn here happens and you shoot one guy, you're just brought into the mission. You don't have to go start the mission. You can just be running around the world and take on missions as you're running around.
Yeah.
So that's really cool too, especially for the missions that I've got to I got to get this drop. Nope, didn't drop. Cool. Run it again. Run it again. Run it again. Run it again. So
yeah, it makes it interesting that game's like the region is open and people are just in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one does not. Warframe does not have that.
Well, I expect if it's a drop in, drop out kind of mission, there's not the region.
It is when you're on, say, Earth. There's like sections of the map, it seems, that when you do the mission, you're all on the same map.
Yeah,
you're just starting on wing F, going to wing C, and you kind of go through the middle bits. And there's like, you're all in all in the same mission. But
right.
And yeah, that is true. Warframe does have open world maps with a person that you can like start bounties with. And it automatically puts you in a group. If somebody else starts a bounty, you can just do it. Or it can be completed for you without you even having to be there.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So it does have those open world spots, but they're like individual spots on every map.
Now, if only you could play with your friends in that game, we would be all set.
I hear you can.
Oh, really? I've yet to see it. Did you were playing anything else?
WoW wasn't for me, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, WoW wasn't for you?
Have I played anything else? I talked a little bit about Deadlock last week, right?
No.
No? I did hop in Deadlock.
Oh, I think you talked to me about it off stream.
Was that it? I was like, man,
because I was like,
who did I tell?
Because I saw it and I was like, oh, it's up. Have you tried it or whatever? And
yeah, I had loaded into it however long ago. Nobody I knew was playing it. Nobody asked about an invite. And I was like, yeah, sure. I just deleted it. But then it's starting to get more hype, the Concord thing. Why does this have so many numbers? I was like, maybe there's more people playing now. So well, let me hit play on it. And I just went in and played solo. I did some missions and stuff. And the game needs a lot of polish. But it's so far, I don't think it's what I want.
okay.
It serves the purpose of what it is. It has a very clear and defined style, which is kind of fun. It's like almost like 1920s, like Art Deco kind of detective sort of thing going on. But I only played a couple PvP maps, and me and my team steamrolled them so hard that they just ended up leaving, and they don't autofill.
Oh, so
like
it's
a
something
league,
like,
they just when they're gone, they're gone. Unlike an Overwatch where they just give you a new tank. Because you're buying items and getting XP, and there is feeding and farming. And
yeah, you can't
creeps,
really just.
You can't just be like, here's a new person.
Yeah.
So it was tough for that, but I just it felt very, which some people are going to love this, but it felt very Team Fortress in its fluidity and movement, which just never worked for me. It just was never my game. So I don't think I'll take to this at all.
Gotcha. I played a little bit on stream. Me and Alec did, and then since then we've played it more off stream. I've really been enjoying Spectre Divide. I think I still almost wish I just had one character to deal with, because sometimes I get lost in the sauce dealing with two characters.
But if you did, it wouldn't be a popular
it wouldn't be
game.
a thing.
It wouldn't exist probably.
And it's the moments where, and it's like me. It's like I just got to get better. But it's like it'll say, oh, Spectre warning. Like there's footprints or something has been heard around your Spectre. Teleport over there. There's been other moments where it'll be like Spectre danger, which means they know you're there. Like they can see you, or they're interacting with your Spectre. Usually you die instantly. But it'll be the moments where I see Spectre danger, I switch over and I spin around in a circle and I can't find anybody. And then I get stabbed in the back and I went, you son of a... You were just sitting there waiting for me. You baited me. I'm so angry. It's like things like that. Or like I'll get like the Spectre warning and I'll teleport over and I'll be like, where are they? And Alex over there and he'd be like, dude, there's no one here. I was like, why did I get the warning? He's got to be somewhere in this area. Like you just haven't heard him. So now we're like hunting.
And they might have just walked through. Walked through and passed.
So it's those little things I got to get more used to. But I think it's really fun. I do wish there were like, because when you buy, like it's got the buy system like in Counter-Strike or Valorant or anything. You essentially buy 2 guns and they go to your 2 characters. I can't buy a gun from here and buy a gun from this pack and give it to my 2 characters. It's like you have to pick the pack of guns you get. So early rounds, it's like I can either pick a silenced pistol, which is great, or this crappy brat pistol, which is an option together, or I pick this other like submachine gun, which is good, but the shotgun that sucks. So it's like no matter what, one of my guns suck early rounds.
And you can't like create your own pack or something.
Not that I've seen. I haven't really dove into it. But currently, just like as it's presented to me, it seems very like, no, these are what you're getting, which I kind of get because it's like, if there's one gun that's good, like I get it's in Counter-Strike and Valorant. Like you pick the AK or you pick the whatever. Everyone uses that gun. It's the best one. But Hokey has downloaded Overwatch 2. Nate
time.
says Overwatch 2 is dope.
Nate, I see you said you've been keeping an eye out for an invite. If someone, gave you the parasitic sort of invite and recommended, it should be automatic. Like you should just get it. There is no like approval process.
So what he's saying is somebody lied to you.
Somebody may have lied to you.
I'm so sorry.
If you want an invite, I don't know the process yet, but I can learn it. You just got to remind me, and I'll put you in.
Yeah. I don't have that.
Honestly, if anyone wants to reach out to me and do it, I'll get you in. I was
getting everybody, dude.
Why not?
Spreading it around.
There's 80,000 people playing concurrently. Who cares?
Yeah. What was Concord's number again?
637.
There we go. All right.
Not high enough.
Not high enough. That's what it was.
Gotta pump up them numbers.
Pump up the volume. Numbers. All right. So how do we feel? We feeling to get into movie news?
Let's get into movie news.
Get into movie news.
It's quick.
Dude.
It's easy. We got nothing crazy this week, so you get a click.
Yeah.
Boom. We're in movies.
It's right behind the camera, so it's really hard to find all the things.
I know. Whoopsies.
There we go. Movie news.
Box office. You know how we start.
Office.
We start with the dollar bills. We start with the monies. We start with what happened this last week.
Did you say use the site Numbers? The Numbers?
I think it's the Numbers.
The Numbers? Okay. For the first time yesterday.
I have it right here.
I went on to it and I was looking into
the
it.
number.
Okay, cool.
The-numbers.com.
Yeah, I did like it. I used to use Box Office Mojo. That's what I've always used. But I went to the Numbers over the weekend because I was like, what's the budget of a Ghibli movie or an animated movie like that? Because it's like,
does it show budget and stuff? I mean, you probably got to click more into them. Yeah, it's. I do it just for the like one-to-one stats, and it's very easy to compare. It's like data focused.
Yeah.
But yeah, the only one I wanted to bring up was Beetlejuice because it was the opening weekend for it. Hold on, let's see what we got. Anyway. How'd that work for you, Nate?
What a run through.
I know. Beetlejuice opens. Domestically does $111 million. Worldwide, 147, which I thought was lower than expected on the difference of worldwide to domestic.
Yeah.
It just shows how like this movie's driven by nostalgia power.
1,000%, yeah.
Like, I would have thought, the crazy, goofy, zany gag gift kind of like explosiveness of this movie, the visual treat of it. I thought it would do better domestic comparatively. Mm-hmm. But I think the numbers for us are just more fluffed because of the nostalgia. But the movie only had a budget of $100 million, so boom, we're in the green, baby.
Woohoo! Do you see that Michael Keaton's going back to his original name? He wants to be, in his next movie, he wants to be known as Michael Keaton Douglas. Because when he went to join SAG, he was Michael Douglas. But he couldn't be Michael Douglas because of Michael Douglas.
87? Something like that?
I just saw a news report where he's like, I would like to be known as my name at the end of my career.
I don't actually know how he is. Maybe it is. Maybe he's just 77.
I mean, I was like, it's so weird because there's a lot of those actors you don't realize you're not dealing with their real name because of SAG.
It's just funny how SAG makes you, like, there can't be two of you.
It's crazy.
I mean, especially at the time he was coming, though, like Michael Douglas, like that was,
makes sense.
The name. So I guess that makes good sense.
I mean, do you remember the story that why
73 years old, or he's turning 73, I suppose, but
why what's his face ended up doing Garfield because he thought it was a Coen Brothers movie because the director had the last name Coen?
Bill Murray?
Yeah, Bill Murray did Garfield because he thought it was a Coen Brothers movie because he saw the name Coen and he's like, I'll do that. And it was not.
It's him doing a Coen movie. That sounds about right.
So it's funny.
I also wanted to bring up, because we've been mentioning Rotten Tomato scores, it has a 77 critic score and an 82 audience score. So it seems pretty neck and neck when you consider their typical gap.
Yeah.
The breadth that they have. And certified fresh, I imagine, at these numbers. I mean, I think it takes 2 weeks or something, but I don't think it's going to drop. I think enough people have seen it, so.
Congrats, Tim Burton and all the crew for that movie.
You did it. We haven't seen it yet, so no notes on that. But we will be watching it soon enough, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You were supposed to be watching it today.
Yep. I was gonna. Bethany's still sick.
Now you got a funeral to go to.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Whoops.
Nate, I say that story because I heard about it on the internet. With all Bill Murray stories, how much can you believe? It's always like.
Well, that's the thing. No one will ever believe
exactly.
You. That's what Bill Murray says.
So
him taking all those French fries.
Trailers.
Him
Oh,
pouring
trailers.
tequila for everybody at those bars.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
He's like, "What'd you order? A mojito? Here's tequila."
Here's tequila.
What a guy.
Smart. Yeah. He does. I've also heard the story that he doesn't have an agent. He just has a phone with an answering machine. So if you want him in a role, you just call and leave the answering machine. He just listens to messages.
Does he do? Is he? What's he doing?
I don't know.
Anyway, we had a decent amount of trailers
We did.
come out. Namely, right after we ended the podcast, the Minecraft trailer came out.
Minecraft movie.
Da-da-da, coming out April 4th next year.
Yep.
We got Jason Momoa. We got Jack Black. You go. You go.
The movie
You
looks
tell me.
so dumb. And I know what I'm saying, that it's a Minecraft movie.
Yep.
But I think somebody put it looks like an ad for a mobile game. I think that's like
kinda
the best
funny.
way somebody put it. But for me, the biggest thing, doesn't matter how it looks, because I like it doesn't, and it like animation, different styles. I like the Flash. Everyone hated the special effects. That doesn't bother me as much. For me, it's like I thought we were past humans being in the real world getting sucked into a game as being the video game movie. Like Jumanji did it, but that's the point of Jumanji. Like, is people getting sucked into the game or the game coming into the real world? That's like the whole point. It's like when Tron does it, I'm also not going to be upset. That's the whole point of Tron. But when we go Minecraft and it's got a game and we can just make the game. Why do we have to have people? That's what bugs me the most. Is like we're going backwards in our thinking of video game movies.
Is any of that confirmed? Do we know anything about this movie? I mean, we're seeing humans get into this world, right? And is it like, God, what was his name?
Steve.
Well, yes, it is Steve. But no, I was going to say the character from Jumanji. What was his name?
Oh, Alan Parrish.
Parrish. I want to say Parsons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Alan Parrish. Is Steve Alan Parrish, where he got pulled in as a kid and now he's like...
it's just Jumanji.
It's Jumanji,
it's
but
literally
he's stuck
Jumanji?
in the thing. But he's like,
That's
now we
crazy.
have to finish the game, you know? And it's crazy. We must finish the game.
Yeah.
So-
Hokie says, looks like quarter digital video from 2010. Yeah. Ooh. I think it's like those weird Minecraft free ripoff games, but maybe, or worse maybe. Jumanji 3 Minecraft. Exactly. Like again, that's my biggest, like, it could end up being fun, but I thought we were at the point where we can take, again, it's Minecraft, I know, but take video games seriously enough to just make a movie about the game without having to be like, oh, we're getting sucked into this game, so
Yeah,
we
but
have this grounded thing.
I think it's currently sitting at a better than Borderlands review in my mind. So,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Okay. That's saying a lot.
It's not
No, it's
actually.
really not.
It's not. That's at a 0. So, yeah, what are we going to do?
What are we gonna not
Not
see
watch
it?
it?
We gotta see it.
Come on.
Come on now.
Next trailer we got, The Wolfman.
Is it the Wolfman or just Wolfman?
Wolfman.
Wolfman? Because
Wolfman.
the Wolfman got Wolfman fighting. Wolfman.
Yes,
Modern day.
Wolfman on Wolfman.
Wolfman on Wolfman.
This one is written, directed by Lee Wanell,
Yep.
writer of
Saw From Saw.
Oh,
fame.
Saw fame.
Yep,
Yes.
sorry.
Yep, Saw fame. He directed recently The Invisible Man with Elizabeth Moss, I guess 4 years ago.
I mean, he's also in the first Saw. And
He's
one of the
in
other
Saw.
ones.
He's in Insidious.
Insidious.
He wrote what's the other one? Dead Silence. I think he wrote Dead Silence.
They do Dead Silence?
Yeah.
I really like Dead Silence.
Yeah.
That's one of those movies
It's
that's
just
like,
it's those he's tied to James Wan pretty tight.
Yeah.
They're friends. That's how they kind of came.
when
up
someone
together,
goes,
but-
they go like, Dead Silence is really dumb and bad. I go, no, I know, but it's so good, right? Like, I really like that movie.
some banger name drops. Yeah, the guy's been a part of some pretty big properties.
He's been doing some shit.
Yeah. So we're hopeful for this one. It's got Christopher Abbott in it, which is the part that excites me the most.
It looks exciting. Like the trailer didn't give a lot away. It's a
When
teaser,
we
I
think
guess, but-
Wolfman, we think more like almost period piece kind of Victorian transformation thing. This one
Lawrence
seems like
Talbot.
what did I say? It's homesteady.
Yes.
Like he looks like dad in flannel turns into Wolfman.
In my head, it's like if you think of alien invasion movie, you think of grand scale, but then you have Signs. It's like that.
Yeah.
It's like they took
It's
that
the
and they put it in
Signs,
one
of
thing.
them all. Yeah. So it looks interesting enough. Looks like it's going to have some visual artistry to it that makes it a little bit more unique. But yeah, that's Wolfman. Comes out January 17th, coming to IMAX.
That's cool.
Next movie, The Apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to say about this movie other than it's a Sebastian Stan is playing Donald Trump movie.
Is he just going down a list of celebrities that
And just playing
he didn't
them?
think people would play? So he's like, I'll do it.
Yeah,
Fuck
why
it.
not?
Why not?
Why not? Get your bag, dude.
Yeah, dude. Well, it's also, I don't know. It's such a weird time to make a Donald Trump movie with everything political and all that stuff that I'm like, it's a good idea because obviously it's going to get views then, but it's also
yeah.
like such a weird line that I don't know where they're going to walk or what side they're going to be on or what's the point, what they're trying to say. Like, what is it for?
Yeah.
Besides just this is Donald Trump, and I don't know. It's really interesting. It's a weird one.
Yeah, it's a fun trailer to watch.
It's a fun trailer.
And they do a really cool thing because it's obviously it's set in time periods.
Mm-hmm.
They do a cool thing where it's like visual recreations of things that you may recognize, and like the way they filmed The Fighter with Mark Wahlberg, how it's like all in the old HBO fighter style,
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, you're almost, it looks like you're emulating the tech of the time. So I'm witnessing it via their tech. To like almost help place you in time. It looks pretty cool artistically, and it had TIFF, it had Sundance, it had like all of the different. The Cannes Festival was on there, I think.
Yeah.
It was everywhere. So apparently this movie's got to be something.
It's got to be something. The Fighter though, damn, that's a really good movie. When they show me
Head
that
body,
fight
head
scenes,
body.
you know what's interesting? A movie that does that is the Aviator. Does the tech of the time.
Oh, okay.
The Aviator does the tech of the time, but only in like the coloring of the film. Like all the film is like shot modernly, but it's like weird color iterations
Yeah.
or depending on the generation. I think it's really interesting.
I like seeing that stuff come through. It's very diegetic.
Yeah. Did you ever see that the Steve Jobs with Michael Fassbender?
I didn't see either.
Neither
Ashton Kutcher or Fassbender.
Well, they're both worth watching. The Fassbender one's really interesting because the whole movie is told in just chunks before big Apple conferences.
Yeah.
So it's
I've heard
like
those.
backstage or like on the side of the stage, or him and Woz are arguing in the auditorium about to go, like getting ready to let people in and stuff. And it's like being told the story of Steve Jobs in just those moments leading up to big things. I thought it was really cool.
I don't know how we got there.
You were talking about like
you just kept going.
I'm sorry. My
I
bad.
guess
Yep.
because The Apprentice going into Steve Jobs going into The Fighter, we're at Saturday night now.
Saturday night.
You almost said Saturday Night Live.
Yep.
It is about Saturday Night Live.
It is.
It's very guerrilla looking. It's on a stage, so it looks like you never leave the stage. I think there's one shot of someone breaking a window in like 30 Rock, but it doesn't feel like a New York movie. It feels like a Rockefeller movie just like in the studio. What is it, like Studio F or something like that? Studio H?
I know very, very little about Saturday Night Live.
Hokey, you and I both, we love SNL. This one is, I don't think there's really, whoever is playing Belushi looks like, you see it and you're like, I know who you are.
Yeah.
Everyone's name's leaving me, but not the actual people, but whoever's playing Dan Aykroyd, I'm like, I don't see it. Gilda Radner, I'm like, I really don't see it. She has the softest features, Gilda Radner being like a very sharp featured person. Just all of the names that they're saying, I'm like, I don't see it, but that's fine. It's about the story more so. Not everything can be Ice Cube's son playing Ice Cube and it just being flawless.
Yeah,
you know
you
what
can't,
I mean?
they can't just clone people and be like, okay, cool, you're going to grow up and we need you for a movie in about 20 years.
Yeah, Boyhood.
Yeah, right?
But both The Apprentice and Saturday Night come out on October 11th, namely the same day as Terrifier 3.
I think
Which of those do you think I'll watch?
this movie looks interesting. Like I said, I'm not a big Saturday Night Live person, especially early Saturday Night Live before I could just catch little clips of it online.
Sure.
Like when I had to watch Saturday Night Live, I never watched it, never a big fan. Even those cast members, I weren't a big fan of their comedy. I didn't grow up with it, anything like that. But the behind the scenes of the inner working of a show like that definitely interests me. Aaron Sorkin wrote a show between West Wing and the Newsroom called Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, which was literally about a Saturday Night Live show. The show took place the week before going air, and every episode ended with them going live. And then the next episode would pick up after the show ended and run you through the next week. And it had Matthew Perry and the guy from West Wing. He's in oh my God, I'm blanking on every name of every movie ever. Cabin in the Woods. He's like one of the guys that runs it. and
Brad Whitford?
Brad Whitford, yes.
Yeah.
Him and Matthew Perry are the two heads that run like one's in like charge of like actually getting the show running, one's in charge of the skits and all. Like they like have to work together to make the show happen throughout every week.
cool.
It's really good. But this is right on down the alley, but it's quote unquote true because it's a real show.
Well, I like the behind the scenes kind of what's it look like backstage, kind of true story creation, let creativity reign kind of story.
Yeah.
But I also really love SNL, like renting VHS tapes that were just highlights of Chris Farley, of Dan Aykroyd, of Eddie Murphy, of all of these people. There were some that I watched all of them because they didn't make many, really. I watched all of them, and some of them, like I didn't take to Will Ferrell as much as I did to others, but but Will Ferrell, like know who he is, you know what it's like. So I think it's like important, almost comedy history to watch.
It does. Whoa, you see that fuzz flying right at me? That was crazy.
I did
it was
see
like,
that.
woo. It looks like it's Saturday Night Live, them getting ready to do like the first 5 shows, maybe just the first show. So like,
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Which is funny because it's like, okay, it doesn't look like they're going to lean on the iconic moments. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't wait for him to say the line that I know because I remember that. It's like, no, it's all just, do you know the name Dan Aykroyd? That's the funny part. Now here's the story, rather than like, Jane, you ignorant slut. Like saying that kind of stuff on TV.
Is there, because you brought it, because I watched the trailer, Dan Aykroyd, all the names that you've been saying, I saw, like Chris Farley, is he later? Like, I don't know the timelines of anything. So
20 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, think of, let me show you a picture of Lorne Michaels now.
Okay.
The producer of it, he's in his 20s.
Yeah.
Right? Like they say that. I'm going to show you a picture of Lorne Michaels right now.
Hella cocaine. There was no cocaine in the trailer that I saw. Yeah, that's like a 35-year-old man. He's had it rough, dude. He went through a lot.
It's been many, many years.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. What Saturday Night Live, the first show airs what year?
My guess 76.
76. Okay.
That's my guess.
I was trying to put it in like a decade, but I was like, if you had a year specifically, then
let's see. End of 75.
End of 75. You were so close. Gonna
Yeah.
fail though.
October 11th.
October 11th is when the
It
movie
comes out October 11th.
Whoa. You know what? They
So,
may have done their research. They may have Googled when
49 years after.
Oh, they should have waited one more year.
It's not October 11th on a Friday then next year, right?
To release the movie on a Saturday or Thursday. Doesn't
Saturday?
It today? It would have been perfect. Oh my God. They should have waited 1 year.
Anyway,
This movie is written off in my head now. It missed. It had the chance. For greatness.
Just watch it next year.
That's fair. I'll do
Yeah,
that.
I mean, that was me with Thanksgiving. Like I missed it. It's Christmas season now. I finally get the movie. I'm like, I'll wait a year.
Cool. You want to wait a year with me? All right.
To be fair, that might actually just happen on accident.
Just because so much.
If I make it 3 months, I'll be like, I'll
just wait, yeah.
I'll set it on the calendar. And then finally, we actually have a TV trailer, which we don't do much of. We talk TV news with like Ted Lasso and things, but trailer. We got a trailer after, was it the year? No. We talked about the play. It was Team Liquid.
Oh yeah.
Losing in the
Loses
11th.
What is it? What are they
hour.
called? What are those minions? Super minions? No, what are they
You
called?
got minions.
But aren't they the bigger versions, right? What are they called?
Well, it was all those.
It was
minions.
all okay.
They're just called minions too. I mean, they are super minions, but
Oh, okay.
you just
Losing to
go.
the minions.
You just go. Minions are taking base. That's all you say. You know.
So
what I mean?
crazy.
It's like, oh man, they were so close too. And it was like someone made the call. Let's dive this instead of recall back. We're talking about plays from an esports championship
sorry.
that happened from LCS, the League of Legends championship that happened. But
Crazy
from
stuff.
this
You wanna check it
championship,
out.
they also announced Arcane Season 2. It's coming November. As I understand it, it's the final season of the show.
Oh, really?
Which I know I've seen people be very frustrated of like, why not do more? It's doing so well. We all love it. But I'm like, well, it's only a lore entry that they made a show about, you know,
Yeah.
like I don't know. Are they going to make stuff up if they couldn't tell you.
Honestly,
Arcane could have been Halloween as Halloween was intended, where all the different Halloweens were just different vignettes. But this one being season 2 is directly tied to one.
Yeah.
So if they try to do a season of the witch, it might flop. So that I don't know.
well, that's why I'm wondering if they do like Arcane season 1 and 2. That's the story, and then they do Labyrinth season 1 and 2. That's
Yeah.
that story. You know what I mean? They just named the seasons different.
Well, because I think, and it called Arcane, a League of Legends story.
I think so. Or it had it. I mean, this one still in the trailer said League of Legends on it. I don't think it said story or whatever, but I thought that's what it was advertised as. Maybe to make sure people knew that. Now that it's season 2, they could just put League of Legends on there.
Yeah.
So I think I'm actually, knowing it's only 2 seasons, I might actually watch it because I haven't watched any of it yet. Because if you haven't noticed by me not knowing minions exactly, I don't really play League of Legends, so I didn't have any attachment to it. But it being short enough and stuff like that, the animation's really cool. I might check it out. What up, Alchemist? Welcome on in.
I forgot to mention in the notes.
How dare you?
Well, it's in the notes.
Oh, okay.
It's not in the notes.
Oh,
But it would have been brought up to you for the first time anyway.
Oh, okay.
You don't read the notes.
I forgot about it. Kind of.
Well, you got them, but you're not reading ahead on purpose. It's not Legends of Runeterra,
Okay.
the card game
Yep.
from Riot that is themed in the world. But they are making, League of Legends is making a paper card game.
Ooh, interesting.
That is real interesting. It's real unique.
It
got the smallest teaser.
I was gonna say, it's gotta be like the
cards, and
newest thing.
They show the frames and they have characters and stuff, but they're digital. They're busting out the thing or whatever. But then it ends with a guy drawing a physical card, and it's confirmed to be a physical game. Apparently coming out next year.
Does it show the back of the card?
Shows the back of the card.
Ooh, that's what I'm excited. Let's see.
I swiped away. Well, maybe son of a bird. Where am I?
We've lost all control.
Dude, I don't
guys.
know how to
Let's see.
function. Here we go. There, how's that? The galaxy, the league, the whatever.
Yeah, it's okay. That's okay.
I like it.
It's
I
not
like
my favorite
It
one.
looks like something from the game. It's
Totally.
like it's a light blue. It's got the sort of
I-
like tech flying around. It just says League of Legends.
I wish it didn't have the name on it. I think
Lorcana did it perfect.
did it so good.
Yeah.
I think that's my only complaint. Other than that, I think the design's really cool. But if there was like, I guess I don't know if League has a symbol that's like, this is the League of Legends symbol, or if there's like an icon in the game they could have used instead. But
No, probably not.
I think I would rather it than just saying the name on the back. But
The league symbol is just an L.
yeah,
It's not quite the same, but you
was
trying
gonna
to pull it up for the people.
yeah. I can't see anything. This really sucks.
And you have to look at the keyboard to type, which makes it difficult.
Oh. This is gonna be a mess. I'm not.
Just go to images. Why'd you go to a website?
Oh, that's a good question.
He's looking for a picture, goes to a website. That ain't it.
Nope.
Just type in TCG, don't type in AC.
Oh, did I miss the B?
Yep. Riveting. This is riveting.
This is
television.
so exciting. I
All
was
right,
like,
fuck it.
Up. Shit, I don't have it set up though. God dang it.
Oh, and the camera's in the way.
I'm a failure. I
Oh,
can't do.
God.
Oh, then it's all a big
The
mess.
production's falling apart.
Look it up. It's just a
man.
blue card with League of Legends.
Just
written on
Google it.
dude.
You got phones, don't you?
Phones. I'm sorry, I failed you all. So you said there are characters breaking out of cards and stuff. Do we see like an attack, damage, text, nothing?
It's breaking out of a frame, like
That's
it's
it.
almost like a picture frame.
Gotcha.
so-
Okay.
Professionals. See, this is why it's not the full-time job.
To be
you know what
fair,
I mean?
yeah. To
This
be
is-
fair,
this is just the fun thing.
I slept like garbage last night.
Dude, I slept like garbage last night too.
Dude,
I woke up sweaty as hell.
I woke up sweating, or I would get something in my head and I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I'd like toss and turn. There's nothing I could do. It was like, oh, I got to get this ready for tomorrow. Oh, I got to make sure I do this. Oh, this has got to be the thing. And it just got to the point where I'm like, I maybe slept like an hour or 2 hours, like sound asleep.
I didn't quite have that.
I woke up
2
with
days ago. I had that.
my mouth and throat all dry. I've been taking like cough syrup to kind of make sure my throat and my voice stays good. It's like I don't feel sick. I just know I slept with my mouth open last night and it's just dry. And I could just feel
Ulcer
it.
time, baby.
That's what I'm trying to avoid.
Knocking on wood for you.
Oh my God. So anyway, I apologize.
I'd say.
I'll be better.
Well, I don't know if you would you say you get good sleep?
No. But I'm used to my bad
I was
sleep.
also going to say,
This
I was like,
really
we get
bad.
good sleep, Nate, don't worry. And then I was like, actually, I know Brent does not.
I'm really bad
He's
at it.
He used to sleep with the ears plugged with like actual, what was the word I'm looking for? Just earplugs?
Just earplugs?
Earplugs. Because this one stiff breeze will wake you up.
Tiniest thing wakes me up.
And then Ash woke me up at 5 a.m. So I guess I was just up. I'm
Yep.
like, my cat wakes me up. I'm see ya, you're gone. And then I'm back to sleep, baby.
Last night, something got knocked over. I got up, walked around the house. I'm like, I can't figure out what you knocked over.
Oh.
All right, here we go.
Poor Cody. 102-degree fever. Gosh, it is that season, huh?
Yeah.
I got to avoid everybody. Your tummy gurgle there?
Oh, I think I shook it. I don't think it was my tummy. I don't know.
Anyway.
Let me know what you think in the comments.
Hopefully they didn't hear it. Speaking of not feeling too good.
Oh, no. What? I just read what was next. What a transition. Oh, God.
James Earl Jones died.
At 93?
93. It's a long life.
That is a big bucket of win, as they say.
And a good life.
And a good life. Really, really did a lot. I mean, like, I'm not a big Star Wars person. That's what probably most people will think of him. For me, it's Sandlot.
I haven't seen those tributes come through. Sandlot's the first thing I think of.
Really?
Yeah. Which is funny because we've talked about it. It's not like I'm not a movie that it's not tied to me the way Sandlot's tied to you.
Yeah, I've seen that movie a lot.
But that's what I think of him there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm thinking of all the scenes now.
Well, don't.
I know. But we'll miss you, James Earl Jones. Thank you for all the good times. Releasing this week,
2 movies coming to theaters. Speak No Evil.
You know what? I think I've seen a trailer for that.
And Killer's Game. Killer's Game's the Dave Bautista, Sofia Boutella movie.
Yeah.
That movie looks fun. I have to go hate watch Speak No Evil. It's getting pretty decent reviews. oh my God.
Oh, and James
trailer.
McAvoy fucking brings it in that movie.
That's what all of the positives. Every time there's a positive mention of this movie, it's always about him. Which is like his build alone. I'm like, dude, what a fucking menace.
I've also seen the trailer so many times, but that moment where he's like, "Oh, isn't that nice of you?" and he like drops and then he comes back and it's so good.
I actually hate that.
Oh, really?
Because I'm like, that wasn't subtle at all.
Oh, because
the camera's right
OG,
here.
right? Yeah.
The camera's right here. Pull that back a bit, and I think that's better acting. That's like, it's not quite stage, but it's, but it was like, he might not have known frame because that shit was close for you to.
Do you think now? I don't know where it lies now because people can get in trouble for lying in trailers. But do you think maybe that shot is closer in the trailer than in the movie? Like it alters so it sells the trailer better?
No, because I think where they are in their house. I don't know how to explain this.
Okay.
Their house is really small.
Yeah.
And that's a key point to the movie, the size of their house. And also, I think they do that in a way to make him look so big. Because he's the size of a door frame.
Yeah.
But really, the guy's, like 5'8"?
He's still big, though.
Well, I mean, no, he's muscular.
Yeah.
But, like,
height-wise.
How does a man who's 5'8", even with shoulders like that, get stuck in a door frame? You know what I mean?
That's fair. It is like a log cabin kind of looking place. Like,
yeah, it's interesting because the movie, the original Speak No Evil, is a foreign film and plays a lot off of different countries' cultural differences. I don't know how that's going to tie into this movie. They all seem American. They all have a more generic American accent, perhaps. And I'm curious to see how that plays. I'm actually really worried. I really don't want to watch this movie.
Well,
it's so weird though because I know I should.
Yeah.
But it's because Speak No Evil, the original. I don't know. I guess I didn't review it on a podcast anywhere, so no one would know.
Yeah.
I've probably told you.
You told me
it happened. That I loved it, whatever, and it was just the most uncomfortable watch. I was like, my body was like, just shut it off, just stop watching. And I'm like, I should finish this, and I'm really happy I did. But even thinking back, I'm like, oh God, it makes my shit feel all weird. Like thinking about it, maybe something about it's too real. I don't know.
Yeah,
but it was my horror movie of the year. I think it was 22. I think is when it came out. It was late 22.
You denied this, but I watched that trailer and I went, oh, Stokes would end up in this situation. I think I told you that.
You tell me what you think happens.
Well, because there's a thing in the trailer. It shows they meet on vacation or whatever, and then they go, "Oh, let's come back to my place." Oh yeah, totally, let's do that.
At the very
beginning of it.
I see.
Is what I'm saying.
I see.
You would be put in a situation.
There's mayhaps a piece to that is so far from me, like no world that happens.
It just seems so like I feel like I've seen it happen in real life with you.
Yeah. The thing with this one is. 2 parents, 1 kid, 2 parents, 1 kid.
Yep.
They're on a vacation. In the movie, the original one, it's a Dutch film. I think they're in Italy.
Okay.
And English is the middle language that we all know English, so we're going to speak that.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's another thing is like language barrier. When they speak their own languages and they don't know what they're saying, English is the middle. So they each have a dialect of words that they can say near each other that is like secret words.
Secret words.
I'm like, I don't know how they're going to play with that at all. But it is, after this vacation, you guys should come visit my country. It's not, let's go back to my place.
Yeah.
It's, hey, when you guys go back to Michigan and stay there for 6 months, I'm going to shoot you a random invite. Do you guys want to come to Oregon and stay in my cabin?
I just see you going,
And
yeah.
with my kid?
Well,
No.
again,
Like, it's
you now.
just me. If someone says, hey, I don't know, come to my house for a board game night.
Yeah,
I would do that.
exactly.
Yeah. But
And then
take
you get
your
there-
family, come to my family in another country is like
I think
crazy.
my thing is I don't think
Sounds like the start to a horror movie.
Oh,
wait, doesn't it?
In my head, I take the kids out of it because I don't think of like.
Well,
that
that
in
is
this
the
situation.
key. And I swear to God, this movie is about the kids.
Okay.
It's functioned and like propelled by the actions of the adults. I think the purpose for the creator making this movie was with the idea of look at what happens to the kids.
Gotcha.
In mind. I just want to talk about it. I just want to spoil everything.
So,
But that's the thing is like, I don't know anyone besides Ash now. I don't know anyone who's seen the movie.
should we do like a special? Should I go watch it and we do like a special like 30-minute deep dive?
I don't think I could watch it again right now.
Well, you don't have to. You already seen it, right? I'll go watch
Yeah,
it.
years ago though. I don't know if I could speak to it as, and I'm going to go sully my mind with this.
This one, yeah. Okay.
I'm going to be
All
like,
right.
oh, you remember when? I'll be like, which movie did that happen?
Yeah.
How do I remember?
We could do a series where we watch original and remake, but you don't want to rewatch. Anyway, we'll see. Anyway, Killer's Game looks fun.
Yeah,
No stress there. That just looks like a good time.
yeah.
What a blast.
I got to tell you something off camera too. I just remembered
Okay.
that like I had to dissociate when it happened because I was like, I can't deal with this mentally right now.
Right.
But it's coming back to me, and we'll get to it later.
Okay.
Anime news.
Anime news. Hold on. Nope, we're staying in the theater. I forgot. Anime sticks in here. We have a trailer for Uzumaki, which is based on essentially like a horror manga.
Yeah.
If you're familiar
Junji
with it all.
Ito.
Yeah, it's. I've never read the manga. I've seen images from it. It's always on lists of like. I don't even know, not like manga that you should know,
Iconic or something.
Yeah, something
it's like
like
Akira. It's like Akira. I'm thinking anime films.
Yeah, it's
but
like you should something you should know exists. I know that it existed. I never took it in. So, but the trailer looks interesting. I think the animation style looks weird.
It looks right to what I understand.
Like, yes, this drawing style. It's like the movements seem weird to me.
Yeah,
It's almost like they didn't animate it. They had like keyframes here and here, and the computer figured out how to get there. That's what felt weird to me. But that might actually make it seem more unnerving. Maybe
I don't
that's
know
the
if it needs
point.
to be any more though. That's the thing is like his
That's why,
visuals are they're like gross. I mean, if
Yeah.
I'm being honest, which is kind of the trope of the thing, but that's what he's known for, and that's what made it so famous, I'm sure. When I think of Junji Ito, I think of spirals, just the word and the visual of spirals, which being this. So I'll probably end up watching it. I mean, unless it's a full show, I don't think I could watch a show that is.
I think it said limited series.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So
what
if
that
this
means,
ends
though.
up being Noah Hawley's Castlevania, like it's a movie broken into 4 30-minute episodes, essentially, I could do that.
Gotcha. For reference, talking about the actual anime artwork of Brent. LOL. Sorry if confusion.
You've got anime artwork of you?
I mean, I use it as my Discord.
Well, that's like a.
Yes. No. Somebody drew that of me. I did that Pokemon Professor thing for the store. That's as close as I have.
Oh, yeah. That was fun.
about it.
That was fun. I forgot about that one.
The
Yeah,
Pokemon,
Pokemon
events. There it
events,
is.
yeah. Damn.
The
then you get that
the
deep
other bit of
memory.
anime news that's really funny. I just thought it was interesting. The largest distributor, and I didn't double check if it's the largest. It's just the way the story was presented. So I'll say one of the largest distributors of hentai in the world got shut down, and hentai is closed. Sorry for all you out there that used it. Delete
how do you,
delete the pin tab on your browser.
Yeah. How do you measure?
That's why I was
Biggest,
like.
you know what
That's
I
why
mean?
I'm like.
And
I'll just say, yeah, Nate.
Yeah,
you heard about that, Nate?
I
Interesting.
heard about that from a
Interesting.
friend. A friend told me.
I don't know. That's why I was like, I don't know what's the largest, and also are we saying like it's just I don't know. But so that's why I said reportedly one of the largest distributors closed. Got shut down.
It's interesting. I mean, obviously every industry has like the company, I imagine, but it's funny to think that there is the company for hentai.
Mm-hmm.
I say fuck them, says Cody.
I think
the power vacuum will be filled. It'll be stuffed. It'll be tentacled.
yeah, there's probably like, I would say there's probably like, maybe there's like the big three in each industry. You know, you got like the Warner Brother, Disney, something, but for hentai, you got hentai. I don't know. No, I thought I had other ones. I was trying to think of like anything.
What are you saying?
Like if there's like, you said there's always a head of industry. Maybe each industry's got their three
But
big
what were
heads.
the three for? Were you about to just start naming hentai businesses?
I was trying to think of anything that I had that I knew.
Oh,
I don't have any.
Well, it's like I mean, it's so removed from my mind that I'm like, I guess they do have industries.
They do,
Like,
right? Yeah.
It's like I really have nothing.
Yeah, I was like maybe I had other ones and I didn't because I was trying to make like the, you know, because like if like you had porn, you would be able to name porn websites that are like these are the industry pillars. So I was like, I could
I mean, maybe I actually don't know if I don't have a popularity measure by that, but I could name some names. Yeah.
A sound plays and everyone knows what it means. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That level. Because I was like, if I start this joke, I'm sure by the end of the joke I'll come up with some names, and I didn't come up with the names by the end of the joke.
Oh, that's okay.
So this is like hentai among us right now.
Who is it? Who's got it?
So anyway, that happened. That was the little bit of news.
Let me tell you, I would admit to a lot of things. That's not something that I can admit to. You know, like if you want me to name any of those other ones on the other website.
Yeah, this could be for anything, but it has to be rough for all the material that will never, ever go outside of the source country. Yeah? I
got nothing to add to that.
I got nothing to add to it, yeah. There is a lot of other anime news, like we always say, but those are the two big stories that came to us. There's so much.
So much cartoon
Mostly
news.
it's this series is ending, this series is starting, this is starting, blah, 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 blah.
There's
Again,
a new trailer for season 85.
We're only going to pull up the stories that we're really interested in, but if you had something that really caught your eye, you can always say it in chat and we'll try to talk about it. I'm usually pretty up to date on stuff. Even if I haven't watched it, I kind of know of it. But with no more waiting, let's get into the game news. Game news has probably like a couple things and one big thing.
Yeah, it's got a couple things, one big thing. Satisfactory is hitting 1.0.
Woo!
How long is this game? But do you know?
I know of it. I've never played it.
My God.
It's up forever, right?
What is early access? What is beta anymore?
What are these words we use, dude?
It's like 1.0 is like, what is that?
Is that released?
You could have just said 2.0.
5 years, Nate says he thinks. He read 5 years.
Could you have just said 2.0? You know what I mean? Like,
could you have just said
it would mean the same thing to me, but it just 1.0 is like, oh, is it more expensive now? Is it cheaper?
Satisfactory 1.0 version 7. Like what? Like I don't know where these. There's not a unified term.
Yeah.
That means the same for each game because like a 1.0 in a different game could mean something completely different than what Satisfactory 1.0 means.
Yeah. Well, and then games that have like seasons or something. Season 1. Well, that could come a year after the launch of the game, but you can also have a season 1 in an early access. But it's just like, what point is when the game begins and ends? I think a game's early access release is like, it's hard to fucking early access really hard and then still come back from it. Like go away and come back with a new 1.0. I think there's worlds where you keep players interested because you're like, oh, we'll add multiplayer.
Right.
Oh, we'll add whatever the new thing is, but controller support or something. But I was happy to hear it's at 1.0 because I know the game does well. It's one of James's favorite games. He's got like 600 hours in this thing.
Holy crap.
But I'm like, if he's got that much time, how is it not?
How is it not done?
It's
How
hard
is it
for,
just
like, how is Tarkov not out of beta? You know what I mean? It's
That's
the
another
kind of thing I'm like, what do you mean? I know so many people that are practically pros. Like, do they hold tournaments for this game, but it's in beta? Fortnite was the other one that was in beta for 6 years.
I was thinking about that because in my head it was like they had because before it was even what Fortnite is now, there was the Save the World thing. And so in my head, is it like, do they have essentially like a
Plan
bullseye,
A, Plan B.
or they have like a thing on their board like this is what we want the game to be. Once it's here, it's done. But it's just for them. Like it's like once it does this, that means the game's done. That's just for them internally. Outside, it's like, well, the game plays. I can do the thing. Game's done. Star Citizen, yeah. It's like they have their own measure of success that we are not privy to where it's just like can we just say the game's done, guys? You can
Yeah.
always make more stuff.
It's also interesting though, because I wonder, like, I watched the trailer for the 1.0 and I'm like, man, maybe if I knew more about this game, I could see the differences. Like, oh, they put a vehicle here and there's never been a vehicle in the game or something like that.
Yeah.
The only thing I can see is that it's making us talk about it.
That's
Because
true.
it like hit some sort of news.
Yeah.
But does that do anything? Because I've known this game's been around for a while. You know, I think of it like, what's that Moria game? The Mines of Moria.
Oh, yeah. The Return to Moria?
We'll say Return to Moria.
I think it's something like that.
Nate will come through with it because he owns it now.
Yep.
But it's the thing where Nate's like, I got this game. I'm excited for it. I'm going to play it. I've heard it from other people too. Like, oh, this game. I was like, man, I could have swore Return to Moria had already come out. It turns out it did. It like fully came out on Epic, but now it's on Steam. And just having that one transition can like give it another shotgun blast into the ether.
That's a
of
whole
like,
other
oh,
thing too, is like when a PC game gets put on Steam, that's like a whole second release for the game if it doesn't come out on Steam initially. Because Steam, as much as we don't want to say there's like one place to go for PC games, it's like Steam is the place to go.
Yeah.
Unless you have your own launcher, but even then, we all wish it was just one launcher.
So interesting. Warhammer.
Yeah.
Space Marine 2.
Yep.
Downloaded it. We're going to be playing it Thursday.
Yep.
James told me about the intro mission and how that'll get you into multiplayer ready. It's like a prologue. It took me 50 minutes, so I text Brent, hey, warning, 50 minutes.
Get on it.
What's really interesting, though, is when I was downloading it, it was asking me for Epic information.
Oh, really?
And I owned this game on Steam. But when I opened it, it opened the Epic launcher. And then
Weird.
I was going through our Wavelink to do sound files.
Okay.
It's tied to Epic.
Interesting.
And I was like, I don't know why, but it like kicked open a door in my head of like, how many of these games does Epic own? That is just like, you can like pay for it on Steam, but we're going to get a cut of that. We're going to get the cut that we normally would have, and you're the creator cut or the whatever, you know? Or it's like, you're just the host. It's kind of like looking at, I'm trying to think of one that I've seen. Like when an HBO Max show is on Netflix, like The White Lotus, if that ever hit, you know, things like that hit Netflix. And I'm like, are they like syndicating? Is that what's going on here? Because Epic didn't make this game. They don't have an intro as the game comes through. But it's like launching. It's very interesting. I know the bridge because I had to make, I didn't have to. I chose to make an account. I think it was called Pros, a Pros account.
I was about to say,
PROS.
because when we were doing the Twitch drops, I went to claim it, and I was like, oh, I got to link my account. Oh, yeah, easy. I'll sign into Steam. I was like, I thought my Steam was already connected.
But they have that account because it's full cross-platform.
Gotcha.
So I imagine that's the tie.
Okay.
But if it's cross-platform and I'm tying into a different account, I don't know what that has to do with Epic because PlayStation isn't up there, Xbox isn't up there, but I can play with them. Like, I don't know. It's very unique, but it opened the idea of like, is there like hidden syndication in these games that I just don't know about?
You just don't see, you don't know.
Which is kind of cool. I mean, I also looking because I ordered a Steam Deck today. Should be coming in sometime. Hopefully, I'll have it before the next podcast.
That'd be cool to bring it up.
That'd be great. But you can in Steam create a game that's like a folder that will launch from somewhere else.
Oh, interesting.
So the idea is like on the Steam Deck, I will have a Diablo 4 game, but I bought it on Battle.net. I didn't buy it on Steam, even though it's available.
Right.
But it will launch off Battle.net on my Steam Deck.
Interesting. Did you play real quick Warhammer with controller or mouse and keyboard?
Controller.
Control. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. It's not a game that requires too much accuracy, and even on hard mode, one of the sliders you can control is the level of aim assist. It's pretty snappy.
Gotcha.
I mean, there's 10,000 things, so if you snap to one head, that doesn't really help you all that much, really. So it's nothing crazy, but the controller felt really easy.
Okay.
And I'm trying to be like, maybe I should just be a controller gamer. I like Overwatch, mouse, keyboard. I like Destiny, where there's not many. But as soon as you get 4 abilities on a screen, I'm like, I don't want to press that many keys. Or like Assassin's Creed, The Witcher, any of these kind of third-person games. I'm like, I don't feel like that, and I don't need the accuracy.
The third person, I think, is what pulls me to controller most of all. I was going to say third person that isn't a shooter, because even third person shooters I like mouse, like Fortnite I like mouse and keyboard, but it's usually third person games. Like, I don't want to play Like I've got, Alan Wake, I've got Max Payne, like all those games on Steam.
Yeah.
I'm plugging in a controller.
Yeah.
All the games that are coming out that are like on my list to play, like Uncharted, I would never, not that it is, but I would never use a mouse and keyboard for that.
Sure.
All these other games, like, no, that's a controller game.
There's some first-person ones. I can think of like Dying Light. That's a game that even though there is shooting, it's like it's not that kind of shooting. It's not online, and there's a lot of hitting. I guess Dead Island, I played that on a controller, even on my PC.
I guess I wouldn't do Mirror's Edge. That's a first-person game. I wouldn't play that on a mouse and keyboard. But
yeah,
I think for me, usually though, it's third person. I plug in a controller right away. If it's first person, I go, okay, let me see if I like it.
Well, now my mind is like, if I'm going to play this on a Steam Deck, I have to play it on. I mean, you can put a mouse and keyboard up to it, and you can plug it into a monitor. But I'm like, what am I doing? If that's what?
Well, yeah,
I got it for the travel because I have a PC setup. Some people are using it as an alternative, but I'm like, I'm going to want the controller function. So if I learn the controls for like Hitman was one. I downloaded Hitman recently. And I tried playing mouse and keyboard because I'm like, yeah, there are like snappy shots you can make to just move through the levels faster.
Yeah.
Well, I was like, no. Holster is like a B. I'm like, I didn't realize how many buttons are in this game until I take it away from my hands.
Yeah, and then you realize it's
I'm like,
flat
oh,
in
there's
front of
melee,
you.
there's shoot, there's stealth, like stealth kills. And then once they're in a headlock, do you kill them? Do you what? It's just like there's so many things to do. There's targeting, marking, throwing, dropping weapons. But if you have a weapon out, you need to holster it. Otherwise, they'll spot you as like, hey, put that gun away.
Yeah.
It's just all the things. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize. So it'll stick on controller for me. But
Okay.
anyhow.
Anyway, back to trailers and announcements.
Then we got a trailer and an announcement for a Call of Duty event coming called The Haunting.
The Haunting.
Which the thumbnail we saw had Michael Myers, and it was the first one to be brought up. But then we also saw Sam from Trick or Treat.
Exciting.
And we saw Art the Clown from Terrifier. So we just got more horror skins. And I already have one that's Ash from Ash versus, or I think it's from Ash versus Evil Dead. It's like that kind of Ash.
Yeah. A little older.
Yeah, a little older Ash. Exactly. Well, you'd like to think.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, so I've got Ash Williams. I can't think of any other horror characters that have been on there, but this is a returning event, so maybe there must be like a ghost face or something.
There's
like
got to
that.
be, yeah.
So it's cool that there's just more. And as soon as I saw the trailer, we were watching it together, and I was like, son of a bitch. I got to hop in a Call of Duty and buy a skin right now. Like, damn, they got me. Cody almost tried getting me, though. He texted me the other day and was just like, hey, just so you know, Cap's in the store for Fortnite.
Oh, that's so funny.
I was like, oh, that's funny. And also, thanks, man.
Thanks for thinking of me.
That's really nice. I'm not going to play Fortnite like that, I don't think. And I have skins I like. Like, I'll always be the Raven. The Raven's cool.
Yep.
But, yeah. So I don't know what this event is, but it looks like a PvPvE kind of thing where there's like
kind of zombies, but
and
also
I
other
don't know.
special infected. I don't know what they were called or whatever, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's not the new Call of Duty. It's not for Black Ops, so I'll be waiting for that.
Okay. That makes sense. And now we get into the final big announcement.
Final big announcement. There's a new
game.
PS5.
PS5 Pro has been announced.
Did you watch the video? I forget.
I've not.
Because it was like 10 a.m. I think
I did not watch the video
live.
for it. I watched people react to the video, and I've
It was 9
seen
minutes.
some stuff.
I mean, unless you're the person who's going to be delivering the news of it, it's not worth watching.
Right.
Yet here we are kind of delivering the news about it, so whatever.
Yeah.
I did watch it. Mark Cerny kept talking about the big three.
Big three, baby.
And it was...
It's weird that I brought up the big three in like industries earlier without even realizing, because I was like,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
weird.
yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
go on.
Yeah, well, that's why people were like, why are you using this term? It's almost like they're feeding you the marketing lingo, and you're supposed to be like, oh, it's sapphire glass. Like that's what Apple tells me. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
silicon. You
Yep.
know? See that gleek?
I didn't see it.
No?
But no, I missed it.
Spraying everywhere. Yeah, it was like that. And it was just, when you look at it, it's got more vents. Otherwise, it's the same alien shape.
It's the weird,
It's got the same curvies, but for anyone who knows the PlayStation 5, on the side that doesn't have the attachable, detachable disc portion of it all, it's two separate plates. It's like a top plate, bottom plate. Bottom plate will get you to the fan easy. It's like it's just a split down the middle. That split down the middle is now wider and houses fans.
Oh, okay.
It's interesting because they brought up the slider that games have, in that there's fidelity mode, performance mode. This is Mark Cerny.
Okay.
And he goes, 75% of players choose performance over fidelity.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, sure, that makes sense. I mean, it's kind of the like
I don't know where that stat came from, but
like you said, well, I mean, they have access to all this stuff because it's on their system, right?
Oh, yeah,
But like
I
you
guess
said,
so.
you played Last of Us 2 on a PS5. You played the PS4 version, and you're like, this shit looks great.
Looks good.
Because
Nailed
at
it.
some point, it's like so minute. I mean, Brent doesn't also see frame rate, so this is me talking directly to you guys.
Frame rate, they lied to you.
Most people put it on performance because they're like, I can't tell the difference between the different 4K textures because it only changes like the background of things.
Right.
And so not everyone's on a 85-inch TV where they could even see the leaves on the far tree.
When I want to run away or shoot something, I want the game to pick up and move as fast as I think. I don't want it to chug because it looks a little prettier.
Yeah, yeah. And this is whatever types of games. I mean, starting with like even God of War on the PS4 Pro, the slider was there. So the slider's been there for a minute. I guess I shouldn't say slider. It's like a switch. You choose one or the other. Some games offer balance.
I want 60% fidelity, but
Exactly. But they were talking. They're like, what if we could do both? And it was, here's a game, and the frames that they would pull up. They pulled up a Spider-Man, Ratchet and Clank, The Last of Us Part 2 remastered, which I was like, man, that's such a weird one to pull. It's a beautiful game.
Yep.
But to pull up a remaster is already like it's been remastered.
Cheating,
It's like I don't know. It's
not cheating, but
it
it's
is.
weird.
It isn't it. Whatever. But they brought up the Ratchet and Clank Rifts Apart or whatever that one was. The newest one.
Yeah, the one that's not
it's
the
called Rift
movie
Apart.
one, but the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And they would punch in on their faces, I think different characters' faces on Ratchet and on Clank and all whatever. And they'd be like, here's the PS5 and here's the PS5 Pro. This one's on fidelity. This one's on performance. Let's compare frames. Let's compare this. And it was just so minute. I was like, you're talking to someone who would come up with any excuse in the world to buy a new PlayStation at any point. And I'm like, this isn't an upgrade that makes sense. Maybe it's when someone's buying a new PlayStation, but it's $700.
I was just about to say, luckily though, this jump isn't that expensive, right, Stokes?
Yes,
they made it at a
exactly.
reasonable price.
That's right. At the same price point now that the other PlayStation
And then
is
the
not
PlayStation's
available.
now- yeah.
Whoops. Because if I remember, it was $400 for a PlayStation 4, $500 for a PS4 Pro.
Okay.
$100 increase. No 4K Blu-ray player, you motherfucker. I mean, sorry. Great graphics
I mean,
performance.
yes.
You remember what movie it came with?
What movie? The PS4 Pro?
I managed gaming at Best Buy when the PS4 Pro came out, and Best Buy included a movie with anyone who bought the console.
PS4 Pro. What, it was a 4K movie?
I've told you about this because it's a
4K
hilarious
movie that
story.
you can't
It's
watch.
a 4K movie. This without talking about the movie itself, it was a 4K disc that wasn't 4K Blu-ray, like 4K and Blu-ray. It was just a 4K disc. You'd put it in, it wouldn't fucking play because it didn't have a 4K Blu-ray player. Best Buy clearly didn't know that. And this is, I mean, you're talking PlayStation, you're talking home console.
Yep.
What's the age demographic you're thinking?
12 to
This comes
22?
out middle November.
I mean, it's a family console then. It's all,
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. This is Christmas console. It came with Sausage Party.
That's what it was. I was like, it was a cartoon, but not the correct cartoon.
And I was like, you guys are so wrong for this.
Yeah.
Because every parent in the world is going to be like, why the fuck won't this play? And then when they finally look for this movie, because my kid wants to watch the animated cartoon food movie, they are watching like the craziest like food orgy in their movie and things getting, it was just like, what? Best Buy, what are you thinking? It was $100 difference. Is what I'm getting at.
And we're saying it's not even, it wasn't like our Best Buy that we worked at. It was Best Buy, right?
That's right. Yeah. No,
It was a company
it was
Best
in
Buy.
because they had paper flyers then too.
Yeah.
It was in the paper flyer at the front. And it was like, hey, don't forget to give this movie out to people. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to. Like, should I?
Well,
I guess it's a $35 movie. It just came out. It's for whatever. We were talking about, so the $100 difference there from 4 to 4 Pro. For me, I got it because it was PSVR ran better, which it was brand new at the time. I was looking forward to. I think they actually came out like simultaneously. And I was still just like baby stepping into becoming a proper gamer, as I would say.
Yep.
And I didn't really have much else. And I think I gave my PlayStation to Shay which we've traded so many things along the
Oh
way.
my God, yeah.
That PlayStation, who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? All I know is I lost my pet in Diablo 3, and I'll never forget her. R.I.P. Miss Madeline. Because there was no cloud saves at that time, apparently.
Crazy.
Stupid. What?
I was just.
How did we get here?
I was just thinking about, because we're talking about switching out switches, huh? But there you go. I was thinking about it. I was like,
Snap.
where's my Snap saved right now?
Well, so that's the crazy. I still can't believe this. I
was just
can't
thinking.
believe this is a thing. You got the profiles. You got saves that can tie to the profiles.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing, the island is tied to the Switch. If Shay were to load up Animal Crossing, she couldn't have a different island. She would be a visitor on my island. There's no other option.
That's what I'm trying to think.
Dude, fuck Nintendo. they do
rule?
shit. Yeah, quote 30.
Quote 30.
They do shit so backwards, but they just make good shit. So it's like I don't know what to say.
yeah.
I don't know what to say.
They will always go to the beat of their own drum.
This is why no one can have a monopoly. They have a monopoly on family games and other. And this is what happens. People just get to do whatever they want, and it's fluffy bullshit. They do have $20 a year on their multiplayer, which is pretty nice. And the emulation is pretty cool. I can give them some things. I heard someone compare a Switch processing power to from like a 6-year-old Fire tablet, and I was like, yeah, that's about right. I absolutely hate the Switch's graphical power.
I don't remember which one that one. Quote 6 was a Stokes favorite.
Oh, shut your whore mouth.
That was quote
that's
6.
right. Yeah.
I took
It's funny they're gone.
I took all the quotes away just because I was like, I don't remember all the quotes, and I don't want someone pulling up one that I'm like, I don't know if I stand behind that anymore. You know, it's a different. I don't remember the quotes.
It was like, don't put that up there because who knows what it could be.
So I took away the quotes, but
But quote 30 is still, it rings true to me. I'm softer on things now. I want people to enjoy what they want or whatever. But my Switch is now gone. I'll probably not buy another Pokemon game for the rest of my life.
We'll see. Well, because he's come back around a few times. Don't let him lie.
They're
How
going
many switches have
to
you had?
announce a Switch this week, and I'm going to be like, Shay, I got to pre-order the new Switch.
I was going to say, how many switches have you had?
In our house, I think 6. To be fair, 2 of them weren't mine.
Okay.
They weren't mine. They weren't my idea. That's why I say the house.
Yeah.
It was Shay one, my sister the other.
Okay.
But
so you have had 4
me
switches.
4, I think. Let's run the numbers.
Okay, here we go.
We got the first one day one.
Day one.
I flew to LA. I beat Breath of the Wild.
What a great time.
I did all the video game stuff. I came back. I was like, man, that was great. What's the next game? Odyssey in 8 months. Return it.
Gone.
I'm a poor college. I just spent a ton of money. I traded a PS4 for one. That's how it happened.
Is that where you're?
Yeah. I know who it was. I could point to the guy. He still works at the jewelry shop in the mall. I know who got it. Traded the PS4 to him. Got the Switch. That one was for Shay. She didn't take to it.
Okay.
Gone.
Okay. So there's 2.
I ended up selling that one. Yeah. Then Shay wanted her own Switch.
Which is this one of the other ones?
No, yeah, it's a different one.
Oh.
This was me getting it for her without her saying anything. She goes, I don't want it. And I was like, I'll take it.
Okay.
We get her a Switch. What happens? She didn't take to it. She was ready for Animal Crossing. I think this was like during COVID, if I remember.
Makes sense.
This is also when my sister got one. So they both got one at the same time. They were doing Animal Crossing. This is when I learned about the save files. Goes away. I end up getting a Switch not too long ago, actually.
Yep.
Somebody comes in and wants to trade in an OLED.
Yep.
And I'm down for it. So I sell it to get a new Switch. This is one that I'm like, I don't know about that one.
We're counting it.
We'll count it, but I get the OLED. And then now it's gone. I'm getting a Steam Deck, and Brent has the OLED.
Yep. So that's 4 Switches currently. Next year, Switch 2's coming. We'll see what happens. Knock on wood, it's coming. It's not true, but we all feel like it is, you know. I mostly play the Switch only for the old Nintendo console games, says Nate.
I wasn't a gamer then, so I don't take to it.
I play Switch for anything that I can get my hands on. I really liked a lot of games on Switch.
This is a PS5 news story. I don't know how we got
I'm sorry.
I get it. We got there together.
We got there, but
the
PS5 Pro, it's a $700 upgrade. Doesn't have a disc drive.
It's a $200, right? I mean, the PS5 non-disc drive is $400. Is that right?
I believe so.
So it's a $300 upgrade.
Yep, because it doesn't have a disc drive.
It is twice the price, so that you don't have to choose between those sliders.
Mm-hmm. And from what I saw, doesn't come with a stand to stand it vertically.
Oh,
you have to
really?
buy
How could
it.
you know that?
Somebody was.
Has someone opened it?
Somebody was. This is my second hand.
Which, if that's true, I don't know anyone who lays it on their side.
That's what I was thinking. I've never seen.
I don't know anyone who does that.
Yeah, that
really.
is sold separately too.
Ooh!
I think it was $30 for the stand. This drives 80.
If it were free, but I had to go get it separately, it's too fucking much. That's crazy, dude. That's insane. Because it's the one now. It's the same stand.
Yeah, right.
As the one that it's just like because
yeah.
it wouldn't sit flat if you set that bitch down to be all wobbly and whatever. So yeah, you
what
have to put it underneath.
Fucking crazy design.
It's a crazy. I still like the design. I mean, I think we got two opposite designs.
Very
we got
much so.
The refrigerator, and then we got an alien spaceship. It was just like, listen, guys, like we can throw an angle on something without it having to be a curve or without it having to be just this box.
Like the PS4, it was just angled this way, right? Like it was flat box, but it was angled.
Yeah, it was just like a parallelogram kind of look. Yeah. And they
angles.
rounded an edge here. They added a third tier or fourth tier for the Pro.
I do think the tiers are weird because that's just where dust is going to get. So I thought that was strange.
All
but
the systems have dust spots.
They actually made a refrigerator too. I've got a little mini fridge.
Yeah.
It sits behind me. They made a bigger version of it, and then they made a full size.
They made a fridge.
Yeah. The full size was like you had to win. I think
it was.
But there's
we
like
had
a
a buddy
bigger
who
version.
won one of those. You remember Todd winning the Series X from Taco Bell?
That was cool.
They had a Taco Bell promo. A buddy of ours won, and when you turn the power on, it did the boom. It did the Taco bell ringing. That was pretty cool.
That's super sweet.
Yeah, I just don't understand the price point of this. I don't know who it's for. I don't think they're going to be selling many units, but I don't know what the iteration is, and it's just so strange. Before this, we were talking about console iterations and generational iterations. I thought this was going to be the generation of modular consoles, which we started to see with Xbox with their more proprietary through WD, like SSDs in the back. And then PlayStation 2, you can just put an M.2 in just to upgrade the hard drive. And then also now with PlayStation, you can just add in a disk drive. You can just pop it into one of the panels and it's ready to go. A 4K disk drive. Mm-hmm. Just in time.
Get your copy of Sausage Party out,
That's
baby.
Right. That's right. Here it is. Blow
right
off
with the new Sausage Party coming out on Amazon.
Yeah, the TV show looking like Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah,
it exists.
Yep.
But yeah, the timing of this seems weird. Generations are weird. But we could talk about the Switch 2, whatever that's going to be, the Switch Pro, or the Switch something. We could talk about how Xbox is supposed to have in handheld. We could talk about how PlayStation they released it during Christmas last year, the Portal.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like you're getting $150 mobile iterations. You're getting streaming like Xbox Cloud Services or PlayStation Link, or Cloud Link or whatever, Steam Link, but also with Steam Deck. I'm just like, I don't know where gaming's going. Like, it's just You remember when in Japan they were beta testing the Switch streaming Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
What happened to that? Like, are we streaming games? Are we downloading games? Are we running them native? Is it mobile? Is it transmutable like the Steam Deck and the Switch of let's put it on a TV, let's not? Is it something where you're streaming, but you're streaming from your console, so you need the hardware and you need a controller? Is it like I don't know. Is it a multiplayer console? Is it a single-player console? Is it modular?
I feel like it was weird because there was the time where in my head, when it all came together was and I think I've got this right, GameCube, Xbox, PS2?
Generation?
Yeah, that was like...
yeah. That was
when
one
that
generation.
Happened, and then the next one was Wii, Xbox 360, PS3.
Yeah.
Then we went to PS4, Xbox One. The Wii U was a weird one, but it's Nintendo. But we had each console had their generations, and we keep going, and we keep going.
And they kind of paced them out together, which is funny because, again, Nintendo didn't have to.
Yeah, didn't have to.
I don't know why they did.
And then after that, we started getting the 0.5s, I would say.
Yeah, we got the iPhone
Or the Slims.
6S.
Yeah, the Slims, the 0.5s.
Which we were getting iterations. We got the Xbox 360 Arcade.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Xbox 360 Elite. We got the PS3 Slim. I mean, we had the PS2 Slim. We had a lot of those things. But now it's like the next thing in graphical power is a PS5 asterisk.
Yeah.
You're like, okay. What? And then it's, talking about Xbox, talking about PlayStation, because Nintendo is just on a fucking island.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about that.
But hey, they do their thing. They do it well.
They do it well. Some say.
Well,
They do some things really well. I don't know.
well.
They're back and forth.
So,
but the thing is, like, we're talking Xbox games. Halo Infinite can play on everything, but there's games that have issues playing on the Series S and the Series X and the One X and the whatever, because there's different SKUs, but it also comes to PC Game Pass. So it has to run on these different guaranteed pieces of hardware at targeted frames because it's on the box.
and then because it's a Microsoft on PC.
And on
Let
PC.
alone all the consoles.
But then also PlayStation, they've got these games coming out and they have far less SKUs, but they're also putting it on PC eventually. It's like, are we losing exclusivity? If I'm talking about, I want to play Horizon Zero Dawn at the highest frame rate, at the whatever. I have a souped up PC and an ultra wide monitor, and it's just like, I don't know what is and isn't and how it goes. You'll like that comment.
Yeah, it is, Hokey. I played it today.
Hokey says
finished it
Halo
this week.
Infinite multiplayer is fantastic.
It is fantastic. I've done every weekly challenge since its launch.
And I'm thankful that I can have PC Game Pass and not have to own an Xbox anymore, because any Xbox game that comes out, like Halo Infinite, I can just play on PC.
Yep.
And if I miss my controller, just plug a controller in. Like,
Yep.
it doesn't matter. And like Xbox Game Pass is on Steam Deck.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
So I can just play. It's still a PC.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I can download the Xbox library now, but still play any Steam Deck, Xbox Game Pass PC game. Just boom, on the go again. But why does Xbox need to make a handheld? And Xbox, as Microsoft making a handheld, we now have a Lenovo Legion handheld. We have the ROG Ally,
Right.
which was bought and returned by me. Whoops.
Another handheld.
I'm so willing to return things.
Oh, yeah.
It's undeniable.
You love
It makes-
putting things in your hand, playing with them for a little bit and going, no, I'm done with this.
Yeah. And then what did it cost me? Nothing.
It didn't cost you.
Well,
I'm not saying
I'll give you a
but
little
it's just
gas
funny.
money. I'll give you a little time.
Yeah.
But if you know me, my time's not that precious.
Yeah. It's just so.
Not yet.
It's so funny to me that it's like the you're just like give me. Okay, I'm done with this one. Give. Okay, I'm done with this one.
Yeah. And I come up with my reasons like, here's why it didn't work. Here's why. I just
you
hyperfix.
girl math it like nobody else.
Oh, for sure,
It's
for sure.
fantastic.
It's a hyperfixation thing. Sometimes they stick.
Oh yes. A lot of times they don't.
A lot of times they
A lot
don't.
of times they don't.
But that's me with hobbies. That's me with just ideas for the store. That's me.
Yep.
That's me with everything. So I don't know. I think the Steam Deck, for other reasons, is going to stay because I have the library. I own the games. You're smiling.
I
also
believe in
think
you.
I also think it's the way that I'm going to have to game in the future. I won't go more into that.
That's exciting. I always thought a Microsoft handheld was interesting because in my head, I love Xbox. Xbox is great. I don't know in next generation almost, or maybe the generation after, I'm like, I don't see why Microsoft needs to make a console.
Because Microsoft, Xbox, they're one. I would step further. Why does PlayStation have to? They're not. I don't know where the reports are, where the rumors are with PlayStation doing a thing. But if they said we're going to make a Vita 2, or they come up with a new name or whatever, what do you do? Like what? I'm like, I have every PC game I already own available to me across 3 different SKUs, 3 different devices. I can stream a PlayStation to my phone right now. There's a device that lets me stream to it. Why would I need to play a 5th Uncharted game with weird back touch controls on your weird fucking controller device? What benefit would that do me?
And we already talked about Steam.
Okay, talking about playing, getting Windows prepped for mobile, and that's how you get Windows 8. You didn't like Tiles, dude? Where's your? Let me call you up on my Windows phone real quick. We'll talk about this.
Dude, I remember the Windows Phone.
Derek had a Windows phone.
I think
Dude, relentless making fun of him. I'm like, why is your Xbox character on your phone right now?
I think Alec had a Windows Phone, or maybe just a Pixel. I had a Pixel for a while too. I don't remember if he actually had the Windows Phone, but I literally had a Windows Phone.
Yeah.
It looked cool.
Did it?
I thought it was cool.
It was way too square.
I like square. I like hard edges.
Well,
but
it was like right angles.
all about it, dude.
Anyway.
I love it. It was dope as fuck because I could make apps for it, said Hokey.
Yeah, but he can make apps for any fucking thing he wants now. So.
Well, yeah, but it was the building. It was
whatever.
the stepping stones.
Anyway.
It was the stone.
So
in
what's
the cobble road.
what's the reason for any other system to make a handheld right now? at the price point too. A Steam Deck is $350.
Yeah.
How is Sony going to make a console handheld less than that, more valuable than a Steam Deck to make somebody want to play it if they already have a PlayStation and everything? Like, who's this? You can't compete in that market.
It's just
anymore.
for somebody that's got a PlayStation tattoo, I guess. You know, it's like the PlayStation people are like, I only play PlayStation.
Yeah.
I want to keep all my trophies and all my shit in this one spot. Give me my ecosystem. That's who it's for.
I
I don't think
guess.
there's enough of those
but
to make it worth it.
It's like, well, isn't that Nintendo? Isn't that Nintendo having the ecosystem? Isn't that like they already have their tie? And it's like, if I want to play this game, I can't go anywhere else. I don't know.
Hokey, hopefully next week he'll have it on the podcast.
I don't think it'll be enough time for a review because if it ships and gets to me as soon as they say it will, the latest is it will get to me on Tuesday next week.
Can we do an unboxing?
The earliest. If I get it Tuesday.
That'd be cool.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
fuck me.
But if I get it Friday, I can't wait. Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry.
Well, Saturday you're booked. So there's one day gone.
Sunday, I'm not.
I think you have something going on Sunday now.
Yeah,
Maybe we should make some plans. Hokey, let's make some plans with Stokes for Sunday. Ooh, unboxing with gloves and big knife. You could do all this ASMR.
Whoa. Nate's talking about the relaxing end. He's talking about my guy here. I know who he's bringing up.
Oh,
That's my ASMR guy.
I understand. There's like you didn't say his name, but it sounds like I got a guy. I got this.
No, I
guy.
did. The relaxing end.
Oh, the relaxing end.
That's his name.
Oh.
Well, he
His
doesn't have a
title
face.
order.
He doesn't speak.
Yeah.
He just puts on white gloves and takes out like different types of fucking hunting knives, samurai swords, and opens up a bunch of stuff and rubs it, pops a little bubble wrap, and touches all the buttons.
What was that?
And then does some gameplay. So it's not as ASMR because it's like you're hearing gunfire and horses and shit in Red Dead and all this stuff.
Well, ASMR is a wide breath because you had that one that's the goth girl mad at you at Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah, ignores you.
Ignores you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't do. I think food's the only one that like I can't. I like it actually grosses me out a little bit. But personal attention, ASMR, whispering stuff, a lot of role play ones. Like they'll just exist on my TV. There's some I found that are like video game ones where they do cozy games and whisper about it. But I think the number one is the unboxings.
Man, yeah, I really like watching an unboxing. I do it to figure out what's inside. Like the ASMR stuff of it, I don't get any of it. I've tried.
Well,
to
there's
think
plenty of
about it,
people
but I
who
can't.
do the unboxings and they talk about the review. Here's what I think. I think this grip feels different. I think whatever. I like those too because I like unboxings. This is just a crazy merge of like it's not personal attention, but it's rubbing the box. It's cutting the tape. And then it's pulling everything out. It's the styrofoam noise of things coming out. And he lays it all out. He touches everything. And then there is text that comes up that is the review. But if it's like, I want that feeling again or I want something like that, I can go back and just click a video and I don't even have to watch.
I guess for me, that's just podcasts, right? Like I just listen to the same people, the same podcast
Different
over
functions
and over
because
and over again.
ASMR does not serve that purpose for me. It's like it's meant to make me feel sleepy.
I guess I don't feel
personally.
sleepy. For me, podcasts, like especially the ones that I'm really into,
Well, they're your
it's
ear
like
filler. They're your noise.
that, but it's also like if I'm like, man, I just want to hang out with my friends. These people don't know who I am, but they feel like my friend. Like I just want to hang out with friends.
Yeah.
That's what the podcasts are for me.
ASMR is not that at all.
Okay,
For me.
then never mind.
I feel no connection to any of these people.
But if you met them, you'd be like, hey,
I'd say thanks for making stuff.
I appreciate
Yeah,
your
for
work.
sure. But
Okay.
it's like I don't feel like a friend to them.
Okay. Well, I think it's a little weird that I feel like it's friends when they don't know me, but
I mean, it's very millennial of you to say.
I
You feel
know.
weird about that because that's like the thing, right?
the thing, like,
With content creators,
Yeah,
influencers, whatever, is
okay,
like the whole parasocial part of it, right? Is like how most relationships are
yeah, I guess so.
now.
Yeah.
But we're like, I guess they're not real. You're talking like you got your dad over your shoulder and you're trying to explain to him who your friends are.
well, I guess for me, like,
But
certain
they've never met you. I've never met
people
my
that
friends.
interact with certain streams and stuff, they'll like chat and they'll like talk and they'll like comment and different things right here, like we're doing now. I don't even do that. It's like I listen to the podcast and I'll like tell Bethany, I'm like, oh, I just listened to this is blah, blah. They've never seen my name pop up in a chat. And I guess my
On Twitch, I do that.
My subscription on Patreon is the closest I've ever gotten to them knowing I exist. Other than that, I've like don't comment on anything. I just don't interact with it at all. For specific people, other people I do. Like there's other people that I do chat with and contact with, but certain ones that I'm like, what are my comfort podcasts? I've like almost kept them in a bubble.
Yeah.
It's weird. I did that. Was playing Final Fantasy XI on Xbox 360 MMO, and people were amazed when I said I was talking to hundreds of people across the world. Man, speaking of that, remember the like, hey, don't use your real name online. Don't put your credit card in online. And now it's just like, what's the thing? Oh,
I still
Uber.
would tell that to a kid.
Yeah, but it's like,
But it's let's
Uber,
just call a stranger's car and get in.
come pick it up. Yeah, give them money to pick you up. Straight. Yeah, it's just funny the way the world keeps rotating.
Rotating. Yeah, spinning.
You know,
yeah, whatever. I like it.
Anyway, so
Yeah, just
what? I guess you're getting a Steam Deck. PlayStation comes to you and goes, Stokes, we want to make the perfect next thing for you. What do you want from PlayStation or any console? But I'm saying PlayStation because the PS5 Pro is what we're talking about.
Yeah. I would say in 3 years, PlayStation 6.
Just a better console.
And
that you can
PlayStation
put on the
6
shelf.
to me, because if Xbox said that, I'd say, oh, nothing. You're good.
Oh, okay.
Because what would plan 5 years from now? What's an Xbox game that comes out?
Xbox game comes out, I said 5 years.
Yep.
That I hope that comes out or
Whatever.
And it's only Xbox, right? It's not like it's a
Yep.
game. Okay. I mean,
And they own Bethesda now, so maybe the new Skyrim game. Yeah.
new Elder Scrolls.
New Elder Scrolls
Yeah,
game. I mean,
that'd
to
be
say,
cool.
yeah. I could say that, I guess.
I want
maybe
a new Halo. I want more Gears.
Yeah.
We got
I
that
Halo,
Gears coming.
Halo Infinite, the sequel.
Well, they called it Infinite.
Infinitor.
They gave me a small story, and they haven't given me more.
I don't know.
So-
I don't know. Yeah. So whatever that is, I get that 5 years from now from Xbox. I look at that game and I go, oh, well, I could just play that now because it's not. I have a PC. If
I see
nothing
what you're saying.
nothing changes, I can play that game.
Because it's on PC.
Yeah, and it's like there's nothing stopping me now. But I'll say The Last of Us 3. Last of Us 3 comes out. They typically put it at the end of a console generation, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
So
I
it
would
can bridge.
Yeah, exactly. But I would be like, oh, I'll get that on the PS6. I can't play that on the PS5. I will need a PS6
I
to
will need
play
a new one.
Spider-Man 3. I'll need it to like the same way I need it for Spider-Man 2 and whatever. They had some games bridge, but Miles Morales, if I remember right, didn't. God of War Ragnarok didn't. Like I don't remember what does and what doesn't. But
Yeah, I don't remember either.
it's always tough. But there are games that just don't, and they don't cross that generation. But I don't know. Is that gone? Is that going to not happen anymore? Because Bloodborne, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, particularly, they're on PC.
Yeah.
I mean, they come late.
They
By
do
Ghost
come
of
late.
Tsushima, I can play that on PC.
That's my thing is anytime I want a new console, the new Xbox, PlayStation 6 or whatever, is because I want to be able to, if they announce a game and I go, oh, I want to play that game, I don't want the price point of that game to be $500 for the console and
Plus
then the game. I
Yeah.
want it to just be, I got to buy the game because the console's already at home. I'm already ready for that next big thing.
Yeah, and I mean, I've realized that with me and the Switch, I don't know how many times I've been duped by a fucking Nintendo game that comes up like, I would love to play Smash. But I'm just like, this is a multiplayer console. You own one, Bethany owns one, Alec, and I'm like, I know so many people that own these, and I don't ever play them socially that if I needed to, I could just play with somebody else. My sister owns one, like they're everywhere. But the PlayStation isn't that way. Like home consoles are more single player than ever, seemingly.
Specifically PlayStation. I feel like PlayStation is the solo gamer box in my head.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it changed my mind on it. And that was the whole reason I got the PlayStation in the first place. Remember, I was like, oh, Halo's not split screen anymore? Well, if I want to be single player, I want to try Last of Us. I want
Yeah,
to
I wanna
try
try
God
that.
of War, whatever. You know, those weren't out at the time, but
Yeah.
still. So it makes me think, like, is the next, if someone said PlayStation, they say, what's the next thing you can make? I'd be like, I don't really, a game, make me a new game.
Make me a new game.
Because I mean, we also know the adage, I don't know where the truth lies in it, but they don't make money on the hardware.
Right.
So it's like, okay, just fucking give up making hardware then.
That's-
Like, you make such fire games, you're going to probably, any profit you did make, because it's got to be something, right? Any profit you did make on those games is now profit you can make off of an Xbox player playing God of War on an Xbox.
Right.
Or on a PC or on
That's my
whatever.
thing is when we look at the $700 price tag of the PS5 Pro, and I know they're not making margins on the hardware, and the incremental jump that it's able to do is so small. I go, there's no way that the hardware is that much more expensive for this small of jump because I can see the jumps on a computer when I look at graphics cards. You know, they got the whole range of
Yeah.
shit.
They got the
know
20
prices.
series, the 30 series, the
Yeah.
40 series, and they've
So
got
it-
TIs and Supers, and they've got all the increments.
So that's where I see the $700 price tag, and I go, are they just trying to actually make money on the hardware this time? Is that what they're doing? Is that why it's such a big jump? Because it doesn't seem, the tech doesn't seem to support it. Now, I don't know what's specifically in that machine or how it was manufactured. Maybe it does.
But when you look, and I'm like, oh, I see a difference, and then they zoom back. I'm like, oh, what, am I watching this on an 8K TV? Why the fuck would I be looking? They're like, notice in the tree. And I'm like, that tree is in the background. This is Forza. You know, it wasn't. It was GTR actually.
Right, yeah.
But I was like, I'm going 85 miles an hour
Gamers don't
in
look
3
up.
seconds.
I don't
Fuck
need
a
to
tree
up there.
Fuck a tree right now. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy.
Yeah, it's really really weird, and it does seem like at this point maybe they should look at if they make more money on the games, just give us more games. But then we say that they did put a lot into Concord, and that did not pay off.
I mean,
so,
that's true, but every other Sony game pays off.
Yes.
Like, I mean, without exception, really. I can't think of one that had a flop like that. I mean, no game's ever had a flop like that.
yeah,
That's
Concord's
one
on a
that,
different
that's
level.
going down on a book. That's etch that one into stone. This one's
yeah.
a record setter for sure. Mm-hmm. But it's when you consider all their other games being as highly rated as they are, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's got to be in software, right? And that's where I think Xbox was smart. One with Game Pass is for the people. There's no way it's the Netflix problem. This cannot be sustained.
Yeah.
You know, Game Pass already has changing prices now.
Yep.
But when is it going to be like, all right, well, we actually kind of need $30 because there's more games than ever. And now that they own a bunch of studios, any title Bethesda ever puts out forever and ever, amen, is going to be on an Xbox, right?
Mm-hmm. If not,
But if not,
is
it's
in
like,
an
well, now
Xbox.
it's exclusive to Xbox and PC. So it's like if you're a fan of Starfield, if you're a fan of the new Elder Scrolls game or Fallout or anything coming, it's like, well, you better have one of these consoles. Like, that's still smart. You better have their hardware. But that's because PlayStation's like locked into theirs, right? Mm-hmm. If Sony or Xbox or whatever made a PC, I guess that's like the closest thing.
Yeah, that'd
but
be
to be a PC is to be open source. It's to be modular. It's to be riddled with peripherals and upgrades at your own volition, and it just doesn't make sense. That doesn't sound like a real thing. Why would Sony make a desktop, right?
right.
But hey, years after the Windows Phone, then we got a Sony's phone, right, Nate? Nate has a Sony phone.
Does he?
You know that? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nate says Concord failing makes me worried about one thing: less intensive to try new IP.
I don't think it has anything to do with IP. I think they should just not try to make a game that feels like it's a decade-old game with new IP, or they shouldn't try building live services into everything that exists.
That's the thing, is that every time you look at the successes for Sony, they aren't live service stuff, right? It's like all the successes are the non-live service games.
It's like you said, like you're excited for Warhammer, pay $60, get 9 to 12 hours.
Awesome.
It's just that now the $60 is 70, and instead of 11 hours for Last of Us, it's 25 for Last of Us 2. That's a fucking $10 upgrade if I've ever heard one.
Yeah.
So.
And its Sony phone is dope, so beautiful. Sure.
I bet it is. I mean,
I don't know.
they created OLED, right? So,
I mean, I guess, did they? I don't know.
okay, Sony created OLED.
Well, you know, it's whatever. They also created the PS3, so you know, what are we saying?
What's that guy doing?
PS3 was a bad console.
That was a blind shot. I don't know where that came from.
I just remember getting the PS3
PS3 's a
being
bad
exciting.
console.
It's just a bad console.
Okay, that's
It's
sure.
a forgettable console. How about that?
We're talking about it right now.
Which one was it again?
Oh, the Spider-Man font.
The Spider-Man font.
Anyway.
4K, 120 hertz OLED, and 4K video recording. No one's gonna notice that. I think I've gotten to the point now where 4K doesn't seem to matter as much.
No, I mean, just like Mark Cerny said, everyone's choosing performance over fidelity.
Yeah.
Because it's still in 4K, but they're like, who gives a fuck if it's checkerboarded? Who cares if it's got upscaling, NVIDIA GeForce Now or whatever the fuck they call their anti-aliasing, all these different upscales. It's like, I'm not counting pixels, dude.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Well, when I was trying to get the streaming up and going and doing all that stuff, I was really concerned with let's make sure we can output 4K for YouTube at least. Maybe not streaming, but YouTube is 4K. Then I ran into some issues with the computer not being strong enough. I was like, oh no, this is really bad. And then I realized for the 2 weeks or whatever I've been trying to figure out this issue, I've been watching YouTube content of all the other creators I like, and everything was 1080-60.
Yeah.
I never watched anything in 4K, and I didn't even fucking care. So I was like, oh, easy. I'm just going to start putting out 1080.
I mean, we just talked about YouTube consumption and its significance, and it's now significant on TVs, but before then it was immeasurably more significant on tablets and mobile.
Yeah.
Which, who cares?
Most social media doesn't even use 1080p. Yeah, it's in my head, I think, because I guess for so long it was when I watched stuff, it was the TV. And the TV was 720, 1080, 4K. Got the 4K Blu-ray player. We watched Warcraft. We had the TV, all that stuff. It was the whole thing. Then now it's almost, I've gone backwards.
You know, it's like, as I would tell people this in Best Buy too, you've got whatever color, clarity, contrast. It's like, it actually,
the 3 C's.
Yep. The big three.
The big three.
Right up there with the big three functions of PlayStation and the big three hentai companies.
Yes. And hentai that's shut down, and the other two.
Yeah. No, but it's like, for me, the difference in a 4K TV, it wasn't the 4K, it was HDR. Like, HDR is the miracle of the colors.
Yeah.
When I think of Warcraft, I think of the Great Wall. It was the color.
The Great
And
Wall.
in the case of your TV, the motion smoothing. But
Well, you know.
which, you know what? I'll watch that movie with motion smoothing on.
Yeah.
It
No one can
was
tell the
fun.
difference anyway.
Well, yeah, totally, for sure. But HDR and for OLED contrast, it's like the quality of it all. Who cares? A 4K on an 80-inch screen looks like a 1080 screen on 40 inches. You know, like if you double and then have the amount of pixels per square inch, it's like, well, we're at the same number. You know, here we go.
Yep,
So
yep.
I don't know.
Honestly, yeah. Hello. My main use for the phone is YouTube, vids, and gaming. Those at least look great on the 4K 12.9 in 12.9 screen. I messed it all up. I'm sorry.
12.9 widescreen.
12.9 widescreen. Otherwise, everything else doesn't matter. I have tried so many times to get into gaming on a phone, and I just can't. There's never been a game besides like Pokemon Go, which I think is more about being in the world than it is being on a phone.
Yeah.
I just can't get into mobile gaming. I don't know why. I don't know if there's like a disconnect that this is like my phone. It's not a game thing, or it's just no phone game has really grabbed me, because if it is a game that's grabbed me, it has those touch controls where I'm like, nope, I can't do it. I'm out. And I've never bought a controller for it or whatever.
Yeah, mine. Like, I played almost all of Hogwarts Legacy on my phone, but I was actually streaming from the PlayStation app. I wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't native. It was. I did put Warframe on my phone because I was curious to see how well it ran. I was like, can this look good?
Oh, the amount of games I've downloaded
if it
and
does,
tried.
I will be preaching about this game and its optimization for the rest of my life. I do play Monster Hunter now. I've always been down with Arena or PTCGL, which is a mouthful.
Yeah.
But
Pocket's coming. I'm excited for Pocket.
yeah, that cool. Marvel Snap, I think that's a game I could have gotten into, but I didn't want to get into a card game while owning a physical card game store.
Yeah, when you couldn't do it.
So I think those are fair. I think there's a couple. Yeah, Fallout Shelter is good. I always liked like Flow, like puzzle games. I'll do crossword stuff. But when it comes to like a game, I think it's because any moment that I feel I'm actually relaxing, I probably have something else with me.
Right.
And in the case of a Steam Deck, I will have something else with me.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting because I feel like 5 years ago, people were talking as mobile gaming was coming.
I mean, they announced a new iPhone yesterday. We haven't talked anything about that because it doesn't really have too much to do with this. But with it, they were like, last year's iPhone Pro series, you were able to play Resident Evil Village.
Oh, okay.
You were also able to play Assassin's Creed Mirage. Like, they were purchasable games, and you can native run them, whatever. They look pretty good. But now they advertise them again because you can play them on the base models. It doesn't have to be a Pro, or whatever. It can just be on any of the new iPhones. But they still push it. Like, games here look better than ever. We're talking ray tracing, and I think their system is Metal, if I remember.
Okay.
There's like their Metal graphical processing is like their software side of it. But all the same, it's got to be for foreign markets, right? Where Mobile Legends Bang Bang lives. PUBG Mobile has world championships and things.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know if that's a thing as much here. My thing is, I would love to find, like, there's games I do still play on my phone that I like that are closer to puzzle games, but their quality is just so shit. But the ones that actually have good quality, you have to pay like $40 to get rid of the ads. Like, it's just so many tiers of ads, or they're only pay to win, or I can't pay to get rid of the ads. I'm just like, man, I feel like it's in a weird space where, how does iPhone not have a market of like, here's really great $5 games? You know, I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because I'm willing to pay. They don't, like, no one will let me. I'm like, just let me pay $5 for like an everyday crossword game.
It's so weird that you saying that is like, why isn't there good $5 games? I want to pay. No one will let me. I just had the greatest sense of deja vu. I feel like we've had this conversation before.
About mobile games, for sure.
It's
I mean,
so
because it's
weird.
been the same problem with me forever.
Always, yeah.
It's a gotcha game, or it's a game that's like you can't pay for ad-free, or you pay for ad-free, but then you still have to watch an ad to do this thing. I'm like, I don't know. I kind of like Stardew Valley's on mobile. That's one that's kind of scratches that itch a little bit. Is like, I want something along those lines. I want like the idle tappers, like what's the like Lemonade Tycoon or whatever like that.
Oh, okay.
You know, those kinds of games. I'm like, I would love it, just a tap around tycoon game that I could pay $10 for. But
Nate brings up Apple Arcade, which I know of. Did trainings on. I just never did anything with it.
I've got Apple Arcade.
Okay.
I've got a folder for it on my phone. That's how I have Stardew Valley.
There we go.
So Apple Arcade does do pretty well, but a lot of those games are ones that you could just get for. But it's not one of the games that's free, but then you get the ad-free version with Apple Arcade. It's like, here's a $7 game, and I play them on Arcade enough, but they're still just not like the right type of game. Like you said, it's touch controls. Like one of them is Cat Quest. I played and I enjoyed it. And I was like, this game's pretty cool. I went home. There it is on PlayStation.
And you're
And
playing
I
it
was
there
like,
instead.
why the fuck? What's the game that you just saw that you were like, oh, I downloaded it and it said I could play it anywhere, so I didn't play it anymore?
Oh, yeah. Like you said, I downloaded it on my phone, right?
Yeah.
That's a great question. I don't remember. Oh, no, shoot.
You have a games folder.
A games folder?
Yeah, if you back out of that. Just swipe through it, go to the bottom.
Games.
And then click the multiple.
Oh,
Bottom right. There you go. Do you
it's
see
not
it?
there anymore.
Well, you deleted it then.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. There's
Yeah, I don't remember what it
there's
was.
games that are just
Oh, it was. Oh, fuck. It's
son
not.
of a bitch.
It's an anime.
I just tried getting away from
I know
it.
it's an anime. I had it though.
Oh, it's an anime. Let me bring up
It's
my
an,
anime
it's
knowledge
an anime
for
game.
you. Jesus.
It's like the new. What doesn't matter.
Thanks for that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Thanks
thought I
for
had
that.
it.
Yeah, you got it. You
I
got
remembered
it.
what game it
You
was.
got it from
but
here.
I forgot the name. I'm sorry. That's my bad. Must not have left an impression. It didn't leave an impression.
Clearly.
I'm sorry. All right. I guess we're Zenless Zone Zero. That one. Yeah. That was the one. Yeah. That was the
You
one.
did it, Brent. Good
They
job.
did it.
You did it.
We did it. We did it together as a team.
Yeah, I feel like a part of the team for sure. For sure.
Hey, you remembered it happened. Without you, we wouldn't have got there. Okay. Well, obviously, we should be wrapping
go to
up. We're at
sleep.
about the end. Do you have anything else on the PS5 Pro? What's your final? Like, you're not getting one, correct?
No.
Do you? I thought you had something after. I'm sorry. I thought I was cutting you off.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Do you think there's anything that could come out about it that would make you want to get a Pro?
No.
No.
Absolutely nothing.
I don't think so. either at this point.
$700 on a game console when I have the beefed up PC and a PS5 and now a Steam Deck soon is like I've got mobile, hardcore, couch, console. I've got like everything kind of covered.
Yeah. And I understand, like, but I also, like, we're saying because we have good PCs and we can play those games. I still don't think that the PS5 Pro is a big enough jump from the PS5, though, even if you don't have a PC.
No.
And we're talking from a world where we do have PCs, but I still don't see the
Yeah,
jump
no.
worth it.
I'm someone who like I would do it for the games. Like I said, Last of Us 3, whatever. But I didn't play the second God of War yet.
Oh, really?
I didn't beat the second Horizon.
Okay.
Like there's games that I own on PlayStation 5 now because of deals and other things like the Alone in the Dark or Guardians of the Galaxy, things that I own. I'm just like, I just don't play them.
Yeah.
I'm going and I'm playing Destiny 2 for my 2700th hour before I just drop the game.
I was going to say, did you uninstall it yet?
No.
No, okay.
No.
You just talked about
from my
possibly doing it.
PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
I
That's
did
a
do
step.
that. Yeah, and then that started a conversation. She's like, did you just uninstall Destiny? She saw me do it. And I was like, take a seat. Let's talk. She had no idea about anything.
Oh, my God. That's so funny.
Anyhow.
Anyway, thanks so much for listening, everybody. Really appreciate it. And thanks for watching, hanging out today. It really helps a lot having people in chat and join us for these conversations. It's a
Thanks.
great time. Thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube later, if you want the audio version, over on patreon.com/RealPixel, so you can get audio versions and stuff like that. You can watch it live on twitch.tv/RealPixel. If you're listening or watching later, you can be part of the conversation like Nate and Hokie was today. Stokes, you got anything else?
Hokie called me a fucking liar
Oh, yeah,
early
he
in the
never-
show.
Hokie- he
And
never
I
said anything
just,
about the
you know
movie.
what? I'm bringing it up because tonight should be movie night.
All right.
And I might be logging something, but we'll fucking see.
We'll see. All right. So we'll get you to your movie night and get me. I think I'm going to go play that Warhammer so I can get up to date. So we're ready for Thursday.
I'll go play that Warhammer.
I almost
that
call it
Warhammer game.
Warface. It's a stupid thing. So
That's what I was going to bring up. Of what did we play? I was going to bring up. I know
yeah.
what you played for 300 hours last week.
Not at all. I don't
Anyway.
even know what it is. But we're going to call it a night, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. We're going to sign off as we always do and say sweet dreams, and we'll see you for breakfast.